On this episode of Playlog, we're talking about everything that we've played so far during Steam Next Fest, more demos that we hope to play during Steam Next Fest, and, well, more Steam Next Fest. Hey guys, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, talking alone about indie games would be boring as heck. So alongside me, I've got my partner in crime, the play.nice.kids themselves, Tofr. Happy Next Fest, Tofr. How we doing?
Happy Next Fest. I am drowning in demos.
Yes, dude, aren't we all? It isn't the best way to be drowning, dude.
Exactly.
We'll get into Next Fest stuff here because we've got plenty we've been playing. We're looking forward to playing. But this is a quick reminder to tell you guys, hey, thanks for watching. We appreciate and love you guys for supporting this indie gaming podcast. Can't wait to see where we go from here. But before we get into all the fun stuff, don't forget you can write into the show and tell us, or not tell us, you can tell us about stuff later. You can ask us about stuff, including video games, life, content creation, the whole 9 yards. Just like Cartoon Burbib, like 2 months ago. Cartoon Burb asked, would you rather only ever play one game forever or never be able to replay games? I don't know about you. I think this is really easy. But like, how are you feeling? Would you want to never replay something, or only be able to play one game forever?
Thing is, I don't manage to replay games anyway.
Yeah,
there's just too many new games to check out. So.
Pretty much. I very rarely like replay something unless it's for like stream. Where I'm like, oh my god, like I went back and played Telltale's Walking Dead for my first platinum and my 100th platinum. Ooh. So that was like a thing. The only like little issue I can see with this is that like I'll sometimes go back and replay a game for a platinum because you have to do a second run to do da-da-da-da-da. So like if beating the game the first time is officially like locked out of my life, like sorry, you're done, and I have that 50% trophy, I'm like, shit, my life's over. But even then, like then I would just have to replay that one game for the rest of my life. So I'm like, what's the worst case? So yeah, I definitely would rather not be able to replay games. I'm not too pressed for replaying stuff.
Same.
Yeah, you're right. Too many new stuff.
There are games that I would like to go back to, but on the other hand, now they're just really good memories.
Yeah.
And maybe it's better to keep it that way.
For sure.
Sometimes.
Yeah, no, there's definitely games where I sit there and think like, I want to finish that one. I wish I could get to the end of the story. And like I say this, not indie, but like Persona is my throughout the year game. Persona 3, I'm maybe like 30-ish hours in. And I'm like, you know what? There's nothing too crazy going on in the indie space right now. Let me play like 5 hours of Persona, and then I'll do that, and then pick it up in a month. And like, I need to get closer to it because we're halfway through the year, and I've barely put a dent in Persona 3. But I gotta do that. I'll get to that.
Okay.
But yeah, no. Rather play new stuff than replay. So that's the life we live. Thank you, Bird, for writing in. And don't forget, you guys can write in as well. Ask us your questions and stuff about indie games, and do that because I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm grasping at straws. I'm out of questions. I've been like, I did skip this one because it was a similar question. So like, I think 3 of you asked like, what's your favorite indie game? And I'm like, damn, we talk about this all the time. Like I can't keep using that question. or what we do is we do keep using that question. And just every time we pretend like we haven't discussed this before. Like I'll be like, I love Cuphead. You're like, oh my God, really? I never would have guessed, in the most like genuine way that we possibly can. And then Audie's gonna be like, am I fucking crazy? Did they not already talk about this? And we just play it up that way.
We're not gonna gaslight the listeners and viewers.
Oh, come on! Gaslight gatekeep girl boss. Damn it, I can remember anything around here. But no, of course, Burb, thank you again for writing in. You guys do the same, and I'll read your questions, and Tofr and I will discuss as such. Timestamp, no actual timestamps because we're in a weird episode, but I'm going to keep yelling it so the bit sticks. We're into quick indie news. Not a lot of news this week. I was hoping to hear something about this Terry Brash thing, but I will note Wildcards is in Next Fest, which I didn't know how I wanted to handle it. I didn't play it or anything, but I thought about making like an annoyed tweet, but I didn't. I'm like, I won't be that bitch. I won't do it. But I was hoping to hear something new about the FOP, but that still seems blank as of recording, so yeah. Only other real news is following up from the Devolver showcase last week. We talked about that over the special episode on the weekend. You guys might have missed that one because you didn't expect a Sunday episode. But we broke down over 100 indie games from the Wholesome Direct, Summer Game Fest, and the Devolver Direct. So check that out and hear all the different shit we had to say about those. But there were a few little just like nods to different questions about like what wasn't at the Devolver Direct this past week. Mainly being the Plucky Squire and Skate story. Did a fun little bit where they opened the book and I don't exactly know the names. I probably should have wrote those down, but they walked up to the developer for Plucky Squire and were like, hey, this wasn't at the showcase. What's going on? He's like, I can tell you today that it's still coming out in 2024. Like, but when? He's like, in 2024. So there was no date. It sounds like, if I had to guess, holiday 2024, which I'm totally cool with. I'm just hoping it's like early enough, like October, November, so I'm not like scrambling to beat Plucky Squire for Game of the Year conversations. I want to let that one linger as long as I can. So that's what that is. And then Skate Story, I was adding it in as you were adding your stuff, and there was a mini conversation in the doc about what was happening with that one. But they had the developer, is it Matt? Matt, the guy who's working on Skate Story? Fuck.
Check. I can't remember.
Yeah. I can envision him, the long hair. Yeah, and I can't think of his name. But it was Sam. Okay. So they had him like, hey, Sam, it sounds like you hurt yourself again. So I don't know what happened there. I guess he injured himself again. I'm wondering if it's a skateboarding accident. But they're like, so the game got delayed, right? And I don't know if that was referencing the previous like Devolver delayed direct, or if it happened again. There was no specifics. This wasn't like an interview. It was like a goofy little side thing. They said, you injured yourself again? Oh, that's okay. We got this. Then they wrapped the man in bubble wrap and then pushed him on a skateboard and he ran into a wall. So like that was it for Skate Story. I don't know for a fact that it was like another delay. They might have been referencing the first one, but I have no follow-up to confirm one or the other.
Okay. So, well, Steam still says 2024.
Okay, then I think we're safe. And if we're not, we pillage and riot at Devolver's doorstep.
Absolutely.
I need a dual pack of Skate Story and Plucky Squire like today. And that's it for indie news. That's all I got. If I missed any indie news, let me know in the comments because I'll feel bad that I missed some crazy announcement. It's a lot of just like news outlets posting reviews or saying like, here's something you could play at Next Fest, which we're going to be doing anyway. So there wasn't like news. Like sometimes we get those type of things. Sometimes we don't. So it's hit or miss when it comes to that section.
Well, we did get an announcement, but I don't know if it still counts as indie because Square Enix is involved. But there's going to be a new Life is Strange. Yeah, and it's gonna feature Max from the first game.
Dog, when I tell you, okay, so that was announced on June 9th, my birthday. We went for breakfast, right? My family were driving home. Me and my brother like, oh shoot, we forgot the Xbox is on. So we're sitting in the car, both on our individual phones, like, oh, you seeing this? Dude, Doom looks cool, and like back and forth. And I saw Life is Strange. I'm like, is that Max? I don't think it is. And the trailer kept going. I'm like, I don't know if this is Life is Strange or if it's one that looks like Life is Strange. I can't tell yet. And as they kept going, I'm like, multi-dimension isn't exactly time travel, but is it Max? And they're just like, a Max Caulfield story. I'm like, let's go. Let's get it. Now, I'm glad you brought this up. You're right. Kind of not indie, but fuck it. Life is Strange is an indie darling. We love it. So we'll include this in indie news. But what I am fascinated, have you played Life is Strange, the first one? Like, yeah. Okay, cool. I was going to check and everyone to spoil that one. So I won't go into spoilers, but I'm going to tease it kind of how the ending goes. So just in case, cover your ears. But you know, at the end of Life is Strange, you have to make a major decision if you want to save, one or many. And with this being a continuation of Max's story, I feel like not having that let us believe that whatever ending we picked was the canon ending. Like, whether you saved this person or you saved everyone. Like, and in my head, I saved the one person and fuck everybody else. That's how I did mine. I don't know if that's how you did yours.
No, but...
You saved everybody?
I saved everybody.
Oh, fuck them bitches, dude. Fuck them.
I know, like it broke my fucking heart. But apparently I was wrong, because if you look at like the lore of Life is Strange True Colors, and all that, apparently the canon ending is where you save Chloe.
Bad. I'm sitting here wondering if like I noticed that and just completely voided my memory of it, or if I completely missed it. Because in my head, I'm like, we don't know.
They don't really mention it that much in True Colors.
Yeah.
They mention it a little bit in the spin-off game.
Okay. Yeah. Shit, whatever it was called.
Sound waves, wavelengths.
Yeah. Not Rachel. Steph.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Steph.
There's so many characters like the Steph. Running the radio. That was a fun one. I enjoyed that. That was good.
Yeah. I also read the book Steph's Story.
Okay.
And that mentions it a whole lot more because she's struggling with the fallout of what happened to her hometown in that.
Yeah.
And also there's like a series of comics that starts right after the first Life is Strange.
Yeah.
And in those comics, you also picked Chloe.
Well, son of a bitch. I'm out here being like, we're about to find the canon ending. Turns out I just ain't paying attention to the right stuff. I got all excited for Tofr to tell me to be like, Danny, it's already out there. Dumbass.
Sorry.
No, we all good. But okay, then that leads me to this, right? Because like now we're in this game that has shown nothing of Chloe. And I talked about this with my buddy Chris RV2 over the weekend because he watched the Xbox one long after I did. But I was watching along to see his reactions. And I told him like this whole thing of like, well, we got to pick this ending or that ending. Now it's either what happened to Max and Chloe. Did Chloe end up dying like a separate way? Did they break up? Was it one of those teen loves like it didn't last through adulthood? Is Chloe still around? She's just, oh, she stayed home while I was here on this trip with my other like college friend, blah, blah, blah. Like what the narrative is. I'm hoping it's not just like we don't find out to the end where Chloe just walks in like, hey, Max, I missed you. Like the sitcom like special guest like, woo, Chloe! But like I still want Chloe's appearance, if it's here, to be exciting. Like I'll be excited to see Chloe like, I'm guessing 10 years, 15 years after the first game. I'm not sure what the timeline is, but damn, dude. This had me gassed. This had me so excited.
Me too, but then they had to spoil it.
Yeah.
because you can pre-purchase the game already.
Okay.
And if you buy the deluxe edition, you get to play the first 2 chapters 2 weeks before anyone else. And that's just I think it's $30 extra to get 2 weeks early access to the first 2 chapters.
It's just $30 for 2 weeks early. There's nothing extra, no extra chapters, no cool themes and anything like that.
I think you might get some other extras, but still, you're gonna have players playing the game 2 weeks early. That there's gonna be spoilers online.
I don't like that for my narrative games. I can't do that. I can't be having that. Now, of course, I won't be watching it. Now, and then I got to be like, those 2 weeks, be super nervous on TikTok where all of a sudden it's going to be like, Max dies! And I'm like, fuck, I got to shit! And like scroll really fast. So, yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't even announce the deluxe edition. Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Sadly, they did.
Damn it, Deck 9. Hey, can you send me and Tofr a couple keys 3 weeks in advance so that we don't have to worry about it? Tell you what, send keys for my entire audience 3 weeks in advance, then we can play. Then you can do your 2 week in advance. Yeah, this will work out great. Playlog exclusive.
Yeah, absolutely.
That shit crazy. But yeah, there's your quick indie news for the week with a little bit of Life is Strange on the side. If you love Life is Strange, let me know in the comments. We fucking stand that series, bro.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, we're going to talk about We Played at Steam Next Fest. However, I have another friend out there, a big, loud, beautiful friend who got early access look at Fading Skies, an indie demo that's a part of Steam Next Fest. So right now, I'm going to cut to me and Nerdstorm talking about Fading Skies. Hey, Past Danny. Thanks for sending it to Future Danny, where I'm having my sit down with the one and only Nerdstorm 92. What's poppin', King?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. We had talked about bringing you on the podcast to talk about Fading Skies today, and we had planned this like 2 weeks from now, and then we're like, oh shoot, this is in Steam Next Fest. We're doing a Steam Next Fest this week, so like let's just make it all happen now. So I appreciate you adjusting the schedule for this.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah. But like I said, we were talking about Fading Skies. So you've been playing this game a little bit. You got a little bit early access before Next Fest. So you want to start by telling us what Fading Skies is?
Yes, so Faded Skies is essentially just an indie game that's very much kind of like Jack and Dexter. So for anybody that's ever played Jack and Dexter like back in the day, this is right up your alley. It literally has all the exact same vibes. It literally was calling back to the child inside me. I was loving it so much. You get to not only power up yourself, but you get to power up your little dragon as you're playing. Oh, it's so much fun. It's a lovely game, and the art style is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, and the fact that it's still in development is crazy. The demo is so lovely. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, dude, I remember seeing this one, and then you told me like, oh, I got Faded Skies. Like, oh, sick. I've seen it around on Twitter and whatnot, but one that hadn't crossed my path yet. So you're saying you're playing. I'm like, all right, we got to bring on the show to talk about it then. So I guess first impressions, like as you got into it, you said like the connection between Jak and Daxter. I know you love that franchise for some reason more than Ratchet and Clank. Beyond me, I don't know. But how close to Jak and Daxter is it? Like, would someone who's like, this is the only game I play, the only franchise I touch, find that familiarity in picking up Fading Skies? What's different? What's similar? Like, where those comparisons fall?
Yeah, so you'll definitely be able to tell a bunch of different similarities, especially as far as like the platforming portions are concerned. I feel like a lot of the platforming and a little bit of the combat is very similar as far as just your very simple moves. So like in Jak and Daxter, it was a bunch of you had your simple like spin and like punch or whatnot. Well, in this game, it has that, but it has a little bit more. You also have like different powers as far as like your bow and arrow and different things that the little dragon can help you out with as well. So it's all lovely. And plus, as you're going throughout the world, you're powering things up, kind of like how in Jak and Daxter you had to collect like the precursor orbs and whatnot. You're kind of doing the same thing here, and it's very different. Plus, this game also has kind of like Souls-like elements as well. So you have like your dodging mechanic, you have your big bosses to fight and whatnot. So it's really different, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
Hell yeah! Now you made the Souls comparison. Would it be anywhere near as challenging? Is it still sit the challenge curve of Jak and Daxter, or you're like, well, it might be a little harder, like just because you made that Souls comparison? I'm just interested.
It would definitely be a little bit harder than Jak and Daxter, but as far as the Souls, like it just has like those a little bit of elements sprinkled in. So you know how like Jedi Survivor, if you I know, no, it's not indie, but
it's all right. We can make our comparisons. People like AAA, so if you can compare it to the other ones, we're like, we got it. We're chill.
So yeah, Jedi Survivor has Souls-like elements in it, but it's not necessarily a Souls game. And this is it's kind of like I hate to say this, but it's kind of like a watered down Souls game. But it works for this game. It really does work, and I loved how they were able to, meld in not only like the dodging mechanics and you had to, learn every enemy's like attack patterns and whatnot, but they also made different portions of the fights very different. Like there was this one fight where the enemy literally flew around the map each time, and like as you're getting close to them, they would be shooting at you, and you had to figure out exactly. You had to time your jumps and your attacks, properly. So it was definitely very intuitive, and I thoroughly enjoyed going through it. Even though I got frustrated a little bit.
Watching, like, maybe I should fast forward. Homie can't make this jump. For audio listeners, we have Nerdstorm's VOD pulled up from last week, I believe, of the playthrough. So it's one thing I take away from this game looking at it is how freaking beautiful it is.
Yes.
And like a lot of indies tend to go with the pixel art style. It doesn't take away how beautiful they look. But a lot of indies that go with 3D, it's a lot to fill in. It's a lot to cover. So it ends up feeling a little bit empty or a little like under designed. But just like looking at this sample we have in front of us, like there's so much like foliage and detail on the trees. Yes. Like, did that persist throughout? Like, I don't know how many different areas you got to try, how long the demo was, but like how those visuals hold up throughout.
The visuals held up amazingly throughout the entire demo. The demo lasted for me, I want to say about 2.5 to 3 hours. And that's just, for me, just exploring and everything. Yeah. Because obviously you could probably get through it a little bit faster if you just burn through it. But I just wanted to view the world and view everything that they gave us, to its fullest. So it was definitely time well spent. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, dude. Damn, this is gorgeous. I think this is the part we pulled up earlier, where you pull up here. You're like, "Ooh, what about these raindrops? I don't know what they do." And I don't hear it. But then it's like, "Yeah, okay, no, sorry, that hurt. We can't do that." Oh man.
Yeah, I was just so mesmerized by like everything because it was just so beautiful. That's why I was like, "Oh my god, goodness, these raindrops! I have to see what they do."
There's this like gorgeous fantasy sparkle to the whole thing, where like the water you just jumped over has all these like lights and then like I don't even know how to describe what would be under the surface of that water, but it's beautiful. So they're killing it. They're killing it visually here. Now you've mentioned like the dragon companion, right? Now going back to Jak and Daxter, how much like Daxter is this dragon? Does it really just hang on your shoulder, and then is it like you can set it out to grab something, it comes back? Is it more of like a set dressing? I know you said it's part of the gameplay. So what does the dragon do?
Yes, so it is part of the gameplay, but within the demo, he didn't necessarily do anything, and I assume
Okay.
that's because they didn't want to reveal too much of the game yet, since it's not fully out at the current moment. So within the demo in and of itself, you were really just upgrading your dragon's, I guess you would say, abilities that you would end up using as time went on. But the way that you went about doing it, like I said in Jak and Daxter, you had to actually use like your precursor. You had to find the precursor orbs as you went throughout the world. And with this, there were different areas that you had to go into, different platforming areas that you had to go into. You had to learn different abilities for yourself, so that way, once you got there, you had like a little flashback. And then you could also upgrade not only yourself but your dragon as well. But like I said, there wasn't any like major things that the dragon did within the demo. He was kind of just cute sitting there on your shoulder, which is it's perfectly fine with me. Again, I understood that it was a demo, so I didn't like harp on that at all. But it was definitely something that I look forward to once the full game does come out.
Hell yeah. Now, something that's interesting here is you're the first father that we've had guest on the podcast.
Oh, nice.
So, as someone, I know Little Man might not be quite ready to be playing games yet, but do you see this as something that you could sit down and play with your son? I know it's single player, so it doesn't have that co-op experience, but do you see him like sitting in your lap, using the controller, messing up the inputs, so you kind of got to guide him where to go? Is it maybe a little too challenging for that? Doesn't quite fit that father-son gameplay experience? I know I'm kind of jumping to the future here with what Little Man's going to be playing, but is that ever a thought that you've had looking at this one?
Yes, this is definitely something, because just like any of my older games that I loved growing up, that I'm eventually gonna show him in the future, this is definitely one of those games that I would love to just sit down and not necessarily play. Well, yes, kind of like play with him, let him play, let him try and figure it out and whatnot. I feel like this would definitely be something that he could learn and experience himself, because for one, like I said, the game visually looks amazing. Two, it does have that nice childlike appeal to it, so that way even a kid can understand and play it, and it's not going to be too hard for them. So I think that's definitely going to be some game, or this is definitely going to be a game for parents to play with their children.
Hell yeah.
Even if it's not co-op.
Yeah. Now, I would love to see that in the future. Again, we don't know too much about the dragon's like skill set here, but now there's this little like lemur warrior dude. Who's this little guy? He just showed up out of nowhere.
So there are like different like cat creatures throughout the world, and in the demo itself, you essentially had to go and save him from these other cat creatures that got taken over by like these spirits. And you had to essentially purify them as you went along. So that's what that is, and that was actually really cool, because a lot of the bosses within the demo are those cat creatures that were taken over by the spirits, and some of them were a little difficult.
Let's see, we jump forward, maybe find one of those. Let me see here. More in the cave, bet. Now, you and I have both been in the spot where like you're trying to stream from the same computer you're playing the game at. And with something as beautiful as this, sometimes like, well, I got to put everything down to low so OBS and the game can work together. How'd performance go for this one for you? Did you have to adjust those settings? Were you able to just launch and go? How was that?
I actually had no performance issues, and I will just give that caveat. I'm not sure if it's just because I have a more quote unquote beefier PC, even though I don't really feel like it is. But I didn't have to change anything, luckily. And crazy enough, I didn't even think to think about that to begin with. So I could have very well ran into some issues as soon as I started streaming, and then I would have been upset. But
that's
no,
good
like
to
I
see,
said,
right? Because as soon as you launch it, you don't have to, oh, my frames are dropping, I got to adjust it. If you didn't have to, then perfect optimization, right? So
Exactly. Like I ran into no frame issues. The game ran smoothly the entire time, and I love that, especially because of how beautiful this game is. It would suck to sit there and have to go through that. If you're streaming.
For sure. So let me see here. Any other thoughts on Fading Skies, things we hadn't mentioned yet, or just like recaps of like, dude, this game, how you feeling about it before we move back onto the rest of Steam Next Fest?
As far as Fading Skies is concerned, again, this is just one of those new platformers that's going to be coming out soon that I feel like is definitely something that you should keep your eye on, because again, if you're a fan of the Jak and Daxter games, again, which is what this game takes, I wouldn't necessarily say heavy inspiration from, but at least a little bit of inspiration from, then you are going to thoroughly enjoy this. And plus, it's an indie game. You need to support your indie developers.
That's what I'm talking about.
Go ahead and look for.
Oh God, I just watched you get clipped on that wall. I'm like, he's not gonna make it. And then
That was my fault.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, Fading Skies, the demo is available during this Steam Next Fest. So if you got a PC, go download the demo for free. You said it was what, 2 to 3 hours of content from what you played? So
yes. So you get to I think it's very, very early on in the game, so you don't have like too many powers, but you definitely get to experience what the game is going to eventually be like. So definitely give it a try and see for yourself.
Perfect. Guys, you can go wishlist this one on Steam, and if you think the game looks great, be sure to do that. The more wishlists, the better the game performs, the more people find it. And a lot of you guys are like, but my Xbox, my PlayStation, my Switch versions. Console versions come with Steam wishlist. I know it's backwards, but you're going to want to do that, okay? So go wishlist it on Steam. And Nerdstorm, thank you for joining me.
No problem.
I'm putting you in a corner here. This is the first time I'm doing this. I want to get in the habit of doing this with guests. And I know you're typically in the AAA space, but if you had to pick a favorite indie game, it doesn't have to be Fading Skies. It can if you want it to be. But do you have a favorite indie game? You'd be like, oh, this is my baby.
Right now, and I know this is like a I guess you would say like caveat, but I've been playing Power World a lot lately.
That's valid.
It's literally the first survival game that I ever like seriously played.
Sure.
And I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah,
I literally play almost all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, dude. Power World's like, do you know how many hours you have on that one? Yeah, I know you guys are on Discord some nights, and I'm like, oh man.
Oh, probably at least like 100 and some change. Not more.
Dude, that's a banger. That's oh god,
yeah,
that was this year, wasn't it? Shit. We had some contenders.
And everybody come out with some new DLC too.
They are, dude. That's gonna be gas. I gotta get back to Power World at some point.
Yes.
But once again, thank you so much for joining me. I'll let you get back to your busy schedule and being a father and whatnot. And back to other Danny and Tofr talking about more demos. All right, we'll cut there. Give me a second. I'm gonna blow my nostrils. Danny, cut it out or leave it in for funny. I can't get the tissue, Tofr. I got it.
Timestamp.
I'm gonna blow my nose. Timestamp. Anyway, back to the important people. Thank you, Nerdstorm. I appreciate you. Keep playing indies. I'm hoping to have him and another guest back to talk about another upcoming 3D platformer. So hint, hint, wink, wink. We'll see what happens with that in the coming weeks. We don't know yet.
Okay.
But Tofr, it's time. It's Steam Next Fest, baby. It's Steam Next Fest. So we've both had a chance to play a handful of games. I don't know. You want to start? You want to start with your stuff? I also know you have a submitted list from one faithful viewer, Daphne, who has played a fuck ton of shit already. God damn, Daphne. Should I play Tiny Bookshop? I'm nervous. I'm jealous. I need to play that one too. What do you think's best? You want to talk about like the crossovers first of what? I guess here's the question. So you have a list from Daphne who's played so much. Do you have like bullet points of what she's thought of each one? And then like,
absolutely. We sat down and talked about what she thought of every single demo she played.
Okay. So then let's try this. Let's pick one of the crossover ones we have from Daphne's list, so we can talk about those. That looks like, that's what, Ringo and On Your Tail, I think are the two that, okay. You have a preference in either or?
Maybe we can start with On Your Tail because that's a good one.
Let's do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Really good one.
Now I need you to jump into the Daphne mindset here. I need Daphne impression. I need all Daphne. So
I'm not gonna do impressions.
Fair enough. Tofr, what Daphne think of On Your Tail?
Well, the fun thing is, she played this and I watched her play it.
Okay.
So I got to get first impressions here as well. The thing is, this is a really interesting deductive game because you've got you're wandering around this like Italian-looking village.
Yep, very Italiano.
And you're there to solve like crimes. But the moment you have to solve a crime, it involves like these cards and this board game like gameplay.
Yeah,
and it's so cool.
It's so
you have to
dope.
like figure out the order in which things happened, and it works so well.
I was a little lost when I first downloaded it because you hop in, you're like, there's a narrative of what happened first. I'm trying to pull up the footage here. I totally forgot to do that. But yeah, as you pull up the game, and start exploring. Sorry, you're gonna hear little bubble speeches here while I'm trying to fucking mute the shit. Connor, stop talking. Sorry, I'm vamping. But yeah, as you go and explore this town, you said you run into people, you go to people's doors, and you're like, hey, I'm the mechanic, but I'm off today. And then you get a card of that person. So you can go and interact with other people in town, like, hey, what do you know about Gazpacho? And they're like, oh, Gazpacho, he's harmless. I'm making names up. And like, I haven't seen so much yet how those come into play for like the greater narrative. And sorry, it's gonna be a little bit framey here. We were watching Digimon when we were playing this one, but yeah, like you mentioned the board game part, and what you do is you like in the demo, there's like this cow lady, Lucille, I want to say her name is, and her shop gets robbed. And what you do is you go in there, and she's like, this happened, this happened, this happened. You go around, you look for the clues, you find a hat was knocked off a thing, you pick that up, record it. You find the shelf where the boat was stored was like knocked over and all spilled over. And then you get this board game where each of those incidents turns into a card. And then I'm going to see if I can fast forward to that. Where each of those instances... do I have it? There, yeah. Each instance that you find is turned into this playing card, and you play them in order of like the events to like deduct what happened. So it's like, okay, well, she stepped outside to take a phone call. After that, the guy broke in and he went and searched his shelf. There was nothing there. Then he pulled a chair over and found the book. Then he ran outside and knocked something over before she came back in with what she needed and that whole kind of thing. I didn't mess this up, so I don't know what the fail state like looks like, but man, this was fun. This whole part was really cool.
Yeah, the fail state is basically you look dejected because you got it wrong, and then you start over again.
Cool, sweet.
Immediately.
I'll take that. Yeah, I was gonna say, if this is one of those ones where it's like, shit, I gotta like redo something, or if it's gonna be like, you didn't find all the stuff, and you have to like maybe walk around, find it again. I'm glad it is just like, oops, you put it in the wrong order, but
yeah, and they show you actually like the things you got right.
Okay, bet.
So it's easy to like, yeah.
So you know just to switch.
Yeah.
Sick. Oh man, this was cool. I enjoyed exploring because you get to talk to a bunch of different people around town. There's the one guy becomes like your first friend. I can't want to say Pawn. I'm not sure what his name was. But he's like a photographer, I think, and you walk around with him. You sit on the bench together and you have a conversation. Like, do you like ice cream? Yeah, I like ice cream. We should go get coffee after this, and all these different things. I ended up finding early on in the game, you don't at least in the demo, you don't have like a quest menu. You have to like sit and ponder to kind of pull up like your active like events. Okay. So like instead of being like, oh, I'm going to open the journal and be like, I have to go here today, you sit on a bench and you think. And the thinking, it pulls up the cards. You're like, okay, I have to meet with this person because I have to do this today. And then I have to meet with this person and do this today. So I thought that was unique. I think it's a little strange because if I can't find a bench or a rock to sit on to think, I'm like, shit, what do I got to do next? Then I got to kind of bumble around town to find it. So I'm not that it has to be streamlined too much. I'm just hoping that there's enough places to stop and think so I can pull up my menu when I need to. But no, this game, what I've played so far is great. I'm glad Daphne liked it too. I know I got over anything else Daphne was thinking while I was rambling about it too.
The only thing else I have written down here is that like the controls feel good.
Yep.
The characters seem interesting. I mean, you don't meet that many of them yet, but
yeah.
All of them feel like you want to know more about them. Mm-hmm. That's a good sign, I think. And we also played a fun mini game. Because if you wander over to the beach, there's like some stones there, and you can skip them over the water, and you can try and beat your high score.
I don't think I skipped the stones on footage. I definitely skipped the stones. I don't think I saved it. But yeah, no, the skipping stones threw me off a lot at first. I was really, really bad at it because I couldn't understand what I had to do. Because I kept trying to turn the stones, like maybe if I go at an angle, it's like skirt, skirt, but the stone changes colors. I'm like, oh, I see. I want it to flatten it out green, so it tink, tink. But every now and again, it'll like ricochet real quick. So you have to kind of decide, do I want to turn left or right to level it out faster so that each skip goes further. He beat me every time because I sucked at it. But I think with practice, I'll own him. I'll own him at stone skipping.
Well, the cool thing is, like, we didn't meet this friend before skipping stone, so we just played it for funsies. We didn't. It wasn't a contest.
Interesting.
So it seems like there's quite some freedom in
the
order in which you do things in this game.
Yeah, because I ran into him first, and that's like I couldn't find they said the shop for Lucille was on the beach, and there's like 2 different sections of the beach. So I'm searching the other shop, and I'm like, I can't find it. I don't know where it is. That's when I ran into Pawn, the cat fox dude. Came back, found the skipping stones, did that, lost, skipped it, and then came back and found the restaurant. So yeah, it seems pretty open world. Sounds a little bit too much, maybe open zone type deal. But yeah, you can kind of explore freely and do what you want to do to get to your objective then. So yeah, I'm digging this.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a fun one.
Me too.
Can't wait to find my favorite characters. So then from there, I guess Daphne also played Ringo's Roundup. What Daphne think of Ringo?
She thought it was very fun and quirky. It's basically just a game where you solve puzzles. There's no like story to it or anything. And to her, it felt like a game that could have been a mobile game.
I agree with that. I enjoy. So I played this one yesterday for 20, 30 minutes probably. I really dug it. It was comfortable. It was cozy. It's one I could just kind of throw on and play while I'm doing anything else, watching a show, capturing footage for something. Well, I'm not capturing footage. I'm playing a damn game. But it did get significantly more challenging towards the end. Like the last 2, like I don't think I finished the last mission. I'm like, I cannot figure out what I have to do. Because like this one that's showing now for video watchers, some of the levels have different like completion things, for like beat it in the fastest time or do this and the other. This one has beat it in the shortest amount of steps or beat it in like the longest amount of steps. And some levels have it, some don't. But like the one you're on, or that's showing on the screen, you can beat it in either 12 steps or in 16. So if you go for 12 steps, you have to do it streamlined to go immediately up the path, back down, and to the mailbox. Or you can like zigzag it, so you go left, right, left, right, left, right, and then down, so you touch 16 tiles, and then hit it, so you're like, boom, I did it in the longest path. I ended up sitting there like, how can I not get the longest one? How can I not get the shortest one? And it's not required. Once you beat the level, you can move to the next one. But I sat here, I'm like, shit, I want to get that long route. I got to get it. I want to do this right. But no, I think this was fun. I definitely got challenged. There's not like a hint system in it yet. So I was hoping for something that was like, plant at least one of these here so you can do this. I'm like, okay, then I locked it in. But no, I thought it was cute. I really like the art style. I agree. I think this is one that would like work really well on mobile. Whether it will get a mobile port or not, TBD. But I still think it's fun. I think it's a fun demo to check out for sure if you want a quick puzzle game to check out.
Yeah, true. She also played Tidy Cauldron.
Okay. Bet.
That game gave her a similar feeling. Like, it's a fun game. The art style is fun. It's solving puzzles. Without much of a narrative or anything. And again, she felt like this could have been a mobile game, maybe.
I see it. Yeah.
But it is fun to play. Like she did play the entire demo. There was one level that featured something that looked like it didn't really belong in a cute puzzle game.
Okay, like we're talking triggering not belong in a cute puzzle game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like symbolism for some particular figures from history.
Okay. Well, that's exciting.
If you look at some of the shapes, maybe you can guess it.
I would think.
I'm not gonna mention it because
I think this looks fine. I think I sit here and I'm like, oh cool, I can do this in Potion Permit. Like it's a smaller part of a bigger game that I think sounds weird because there's everybody's cup of tea's out there. Like some people will want a game that is just this. I know recently I talked about another Next Fest demo in another video, Mexico 1921, where like there's a camera mechanic. You take pictures of stuff. I said I would play a full game of just the camera stuff. So sometimes you do want those mini game type things. So I think someone out there this seems like a nice Steam Deck game if you want to just chill on the couch. But yeah, I definitely see myself being more into like, oh, there's other games that include this as a mechanic. I'll just go play those.
Yeah.
I mean, Daphne got like a list here, a bunch that I didn't touch. So like, you want to just like round out through what Daphne got?
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah.
First up, we had Sally, which is a game that I thought would be something that she would like because it reminded me of my time at Sandrock.
Right.
Where it's like collecting things, building things. You basically live on this giant ship, and you do these fun tasks on the ship.
Right.
She felt like the demo was lacking a little. There was not enough to do yet.
Okay.
But she did see a lot of potential for a really good game there.
Gotcha.
The controls felt good. Characters are cute. Like one of the things that you had to do was like saw these planks, but the giant saw was a beaver. It was a machine shaped like a beaver. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a vibe.
Yeah, but the thing is that like the ship that you live on, like most of the ship was locked off for the demo.
Okay. Yeah.
And she feels like when the ship gets opened up to you, then this game is gonna come alive. Really.
I could see it. Yeah. We saw this one at the Wholesome showcase the other day, and I was attached when I saw the ship. I'm like, that looks cool. So hearing that like can only explore so much of the ship, I might be like, maybe I'll hold off for now. I like the ship was my selling point. I don't really. It takes a lot for me to want to get into like the farming sim lifestyle thing for a game. It all depends what's wrapped around it. So that airship for me is kind of like the selling point on this one. So I could see myself holding off till then.
Yeah. Then after Sally, she played The August Before.
Okay.
This is a game where you clean up a room.
Love it. I need to do that more often.
Yeah. It's like it could be a game that feels like something like Unpacking.
Yeah.
Where a story gets told just by the motion of cleaning up your room. But gameplay in this one felt a bit too tedious. That was the word that kept coming back when we were talking about this game.
Okay.
Especially because, for example, like as you can see in the demo for the people who are watching, there's a lot of shit to clean up in this room.
Yeah.
And like one of the things is tiny buttons that you have to put into like a cup.
Ooh.
But you can only pick up one button at a time.
Yeah.
And you can't pick up. Yeah, and like you can't pick up the and like you can't pick up the cup and bring it closer to like a load of buttons. No, you have to pick up one button, move all the way across the room, go back and forth, and it just gets a bit too tedious. I was also like when I was gonna play this demo, and I was reading. Yeah, it does feature some cool references. Yeah. Life is Strange is up there as well.
Ooh.
Yeah. It does also seem that this room might be the only room that you clean up.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if this is going to be like a really short experience. And
they
padded it out by putting in lots of stuff to clean up. I don't know. But yeah, it felt a bit too tedious. And it's a shame because like the visuals are gorgeous.
Right.
Like the vibe is there. But like also gameplay gets a bit too precise or fidgety at times. For example, on top of your desk, there's like a bookcase, and you have to fit the books in, but you have to fit them in exactly, or they won't stay there.
Yeah.
And it maybe it's the state of the demo, could be.
Okay.
But it feels just a little too fidgety.
Yeah, because this one on Steam just says coming soon, so we're not even looking like 2024, which it could be years out from there.
Maybe.
I'm looking at that trailer. If I was to cover my ears and say solely on what I saw, that looks fun. This looks enjoyable. Hearing some of the not even nitpicks, just like I have to pick up buttons one at a time. Like, that doesn't sound fun. That doesn't sound great. If any of that feedback goes where I'm like, cool, I can bring the cup to the buttons, then dink, 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 move the cup back, I would love that. And maybe that's just a growing pain with still developing. But yeah, thinking about the comparison to Unpacking, where I'm like, that is very, even though it's a mess, it's organized mess. Like everything, you're opening boxes and pulling it out at your own control. In this one, you're seeing crumpled up, messed up blankets, crumpled up pieces of paper that you kind of have to, sort out yourself, but you have to find it within the mess. So I can see where that might get annoying. And I'm wondering if it starts annoying and then it's like, oh, the progression felt right. Like I felt like I accomplished something and made my room clean, which sounds like such a small like victory at the end of the day. But if it stays consistently like frustrating the entire time, I could see that being annoying.
Well, it started out fun actually, according to Daphne.
Bet.
But it just started getting tedious because you just kept on finding stuff to clean up. and like there wasn't enough storytelling happening. Also, you're just dropped into this room. Like with Unpacking, we're gonna keep comparing it to that. Unpacking tells its story because you have your first apartment, then you have the apartment that you move to, etc. Yeah. Now you just have a room with no indication of you should do this first.
Just gotta go in and do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping it evolves and gets better because, like I said, that looks fun. This looks cool, and if that means more rooms, it means streamlining some stuff. I hope the game comes together because there's a lot of games like this, and if this comes out and it doesn't really exceed expectations, it'll just be like, well, I'd rather go play insert any number of A Little to the Left, Unpacking, etc. From these. Simpler Times just came out. There's another cleaning up room one we saw at Wholesome Direct. I can't think of what that one was called. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I'll try to interject as much because Daphne has a whole fucking list. So yeah, keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Next up, we've got Broken Lens. Yep. This is a cozy game where you play a little robot with a sight problem.
Yeah.
And basically, it's just one of his visors is broken. So you see the view from both eyes, but you just have to find the differences. It's basically just a game of finding the differences between two screens. And it's packaged up in a really cute way. But if you're looking for more than that, then you're gonna be disappointed because it's only that.
Yeah, now this looks cute as hell. I gotta.
But it looks like a lot of fun. She said it played in a great way. It can be a bit challenging if you're not used to playing these kind of games.
Okay.
But it was fun. She had a good time.
Hell yeah. All right, next.
Next
I'm
up
gonna
is
put
one
this whole
that...
thing as the Daphne section instead of doing like individual. I'm just gonna do the Daphne section.
All right. Next up is one that I played as well, and it's called Building Relationships.
Alrighty, tell us about it.
I'm so excited about this one. I'm gonna quote her directly here.
Bet.
Some straight up hootin' tootin' fun. Samantha is a howdy ho funny bish looking to bro down with Millie.
That's amazing. That's not what I expected.
And the thing is, all of those words come straight from the game.
Hell yeah. This looks insane.
It's so wacko and random, and like the graphics are basically PlayStation 1 era, I think.
Yeah.
But it's so much fun. Like you get to choose dialogue options for your house who's trying to date other houses, well, other buildings. And like the windmill is called Millie. Your house is called Samantha, like Samantha. It's you get like these camera angles, like if you're watching you can see it, like it's like zooming in on the faces, except there's no face, there's just literally a building. It's amazing. I cannot wait to play this.
Set the expectation here. Am I in more of a Toy Story world where the house comes to life when the people leave, or am I in more of a Cars world where this is just a world of houses? Like, what's our case here with
I don't even know. I don't even know. The thing is, you end up on this island, and it's a retreat for buildings.
Okay.
And you're there to find true love. And like, there's a fishing mini game, but the fish are cars.
Okay.
For some reason.
Okay, so it sounds like more of a Cars than a Toy Story, if I had to guess. If the fish are cars, then we're not in reality. We're not in the real world anymore.
No. It reminded this is my thoughts on it. It reminded me a lot of what's it called? The game where you date birds.
How to Fool Boyfriend.
Yeah. It's that kind of humor, I think.
Yeah, okay. That's what I never got around to, but Building Relationships looks fucking dope. This looks fun.
It's so much fun. It's a pretty short demo, and I was a bit sad.
Oh.
But I'm definitely buying this one.
Hell yeah. God, I need next has to be like a month. I'm like, there's so much to play. I don't know if I have time.
I know, right? Then next up, she played Free Ride.
Yes.
I'm just gonna pull up the Steam page so I can give a description.
This is something.
Because I'm professional.
I have it here if you want me to do it.
Free Ride is a game about you. Board a train to the spirit world in our oddball RPG where you make friends, use telekinesis, find secrets, consume ice cream, and chart your own path. Now, the demo is called the Free Ride, the Personality Test. And it really is a personality test disguised as a game. But in a really interesting way, because to Daphne, it felt like the demo was really linear.
Okay.
And apparently it wasn't.
Huh.
Yeah. It kind of blew her mind a bit because she acted as she felt was right, as she felt the game was telling her to do.
Yeah.
But apparently that's just her personality showing through.
Oh yeah, that's
then
cool.
again, the game, because of that, the game called her a clown. So it's a stupid game. 0 out of 10.
Oh well, shit. Damn. Never mind. Unwishlist it. Now get out of here.
No.
Yeah.
It has really good music. The graphics are cool, but slightly headache inducing. Apparently, when you're playing.
I can see
the characters are intriguing. That was one big takeaway as well that she thought I should mention.
Yeah, I love the character designs. From the first trailer, I didn't say it during the stream, but after the fact, I thought about it. Gazeter is the artist, something for Wild Frost. And there's the one like galaxy character that like flips upside down here in the trailer. And they remind me of like so many of the characters that I see Gazeter post on Twitter. And like, I love Gazeter's style. I'm hoping one day I'm like, yo, Gazeter, if I can get like a banner of like me and my gnome in your style for like all my social media, I'm here for it. Cause that shit's fire. The style is amazing. So like, this just tells me like 3D Gazeter to some degree. Some of them aren't very like Gazeter style, but yeah, no, this is still on my list of ones I want to check out. Shit. I'm glad to hear that she like thought like this is very linear to be like, oh, actually, no, this was like my path. It just became linear for me, not linear for the whole community of people playing this game. So that's really dope. Yeah. It seems so seamless and like unexpected. Yeah, that's lit.
Yep. Then she played Lost and Found Company, which has very cute visuals. That was the first thing she mentioned.
Yep.
It's a pretty typical hidden object game to start out with.
Okay.
But as you like start out with a couple of objectives, like find this and this and this, you also find out that you can interact with a lot of things, way more things than just the things you're supposed to find.
Yeah.
And because of that, you get extra objectives.
Oh, damn.
Like you will, for example, she clicked on a sheep.
Okay.
And the game said, oh, you found one of the secret sheep. Now find all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, this is crazy. There's so much.
Yeah, there's so much going on in every image. And that she did feel that it got like pretty challenging.
Okay.
As the objectives kept piling on and piling on. But it does keep triggering you to do more. So that's a good thing.
Okay. Bet. That's dope. Take
she
that.
She concluded with 10 out of 10 would get lost and found again.
Okay.
Then next up we've got Monterona. This one interested her because she loved Townscaper. And as you can see, if you're watching the video version, it does remind you of that. Gameplay feels pretty similar, and as in you like click and things, click your mouse and things just click in, or pop into space. But it's more detailed than Townscaper was. Townscaper was really just about buildings, and now you can like accessorize, and you can put people into your world, and you can add tiny things to it to like every house. So that was fun.
Yeah. Do you know if she had played Summer Home or Summer House, whichever that one was called?
I forgot to ask her because it does remind me of that as well. But I think gameplay-wise, it looks more. I think it's more similar to Townscaper than Summer House.
Yes, totally agree, 100%. Seeing all the different stuff here, Summer House was very like. And this looks like it might be the same, where there's not necessarily objectives. You're not doing like, build this house so that there's 10 people that move into town. It is just slapping buildings, slapping water, slapping a lawn so that you build like what feels aesthetically pleasing to you, or not aesthetically pleasing, just whatever you want to throw on the map. So like that's what this seems like to me, and I assume that's what it was.
Yeah, and that's what she mentioned as well, that if you like games like Townscaper or Summer House, you're gonna like this.
Okay.
If you don't, if you're not in that kind of creative mindset to just like create a plan and like I want it to look like this and I want this to be shaped like this, then it's not gonna be a game for you. It's not gonna change your mind. But there is enough difference. There's like enough difference with Townscaper to still invest in both.
Okay, there you have it. Go build some houses, people. All right, then the next one I know I have on my list of to plays.
Yeah, next one is a Caravan Sandwich. It's on my to play list as well. This is a game with great graphics that creates an interesting and intriguing world to explore.
Mm-hmm.
It is an open world, though, and if you're not into open worlds, then this game might not be for you.
Okay.
There's little guidance, like maybe not enough guidance for people who are new to open world games.
Okay.
Like, for example, it drops you in an area, and it just says, the thing you need is in this area. Go look for it.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah. The story didn't really hit yet either.
Okay.
But she thinks it's down to maybe this game just not being for her.
Sure.
Because it does feel like gameplay does feel like satisfying. It's an interesting world. It's just probably not her thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. As I look at this one and I look at the main character, mostly I'm just like, man, Dungeons of Hinterberg. It looks so similar.
Yeah, it does.
And then, of course, then you get like the car stuff. I'm like, oh, it's not similar at all. Definitely, I think this looks fun. I think this looks great. I'm hearing the like lack of direction kind of gives me like Shadow of the Colossus vibes, where like in there, you kind of have to be like, where do I go next? Sword of the air, get the shining light. Now I know where to go. But yeah, this seems to just be cuffs off, like explore and find. And if there is an objective, it's like, whatever you need is here somewhere. Maybe it's do I stand here and look and find what might be here or is told us here? Where I'm like, I'll go do something fun for now, and then maybe I'll stumble upon it later or what that looks like. So I think that's where my brain's at with it. Just walk around, do things until I literally I'm like, I don't have anything to do or I don't want to do anything, and see where it falls for me. But I'm definitely interested in checking this one out.
Yeah, same. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of open worlds, this one intrigues me.
I think what I've learned the last couple weeks, that indie open worlds are, just by the nature of the industry, just smaller. After playing Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip and then Little Kitty Big City, both being open worlds, they're still very condensed compared to like a Breath of the Wild or a Witcher or something like that, which I dig, because I think I can get with an indie open world less than a AAA open world, because even when there's a lot to do, it's still really confined. And if this kind of, even if it's a little bit more than the average indie open world, it still means it'll be minimal. Or it's going to be like, nah, dude, this is just the biggest map you've seen in the game today. I'm like, oh, fuck. I wasn't ready for that.
All right. We've got two more
on
Daphne's list. And they're two really good ones.
They're two that I love, but I want to hear about them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The first one is The Star Named Eos.
Oh, my God. This game's so great.
Yeah. The first thing she said was, this is a definite buy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a puzzle game, but not like the previous puzzle games we mentioned. It's more like, if you remember those escape room games.
Yes.
That used to be quite popular.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Like, you're dropped in a room and you have to solve puzzles within the room to continue the story. This is a game where you play the child of a photographer who travels a lot. And photography plays a big role. For example, you try to recreate pictures you've received from her travels in your room. Yep. And when you do that, it transports you to where the mother was in the original picture. And then in that world is another puzzle to solve before you're thrown back to your room. This sounds amazing, to be honest.
I am so infatuated with this game. So they reached out to me last year to play the demo early. I don't know if the Next Fest demo is the same or if it's a brand new one. I have to assume after this time it's a new one. But yeah, I played this demo last year, trial periods on YouTube and everything. I fell in love with it. I didn't play Behind the Frame until this past year, but this is from the same team, Silver Lining Studio. Shit, dude. I'm gonna like fall in love with this game, dude. There's a whole little puzzle. Again, the original demo. I can't speak to this one, but it's like a storybook, and it's like you're like trying to figure out a puzzle, and I can't quite find it. But you see, like the little bee has like a certain amount of stripes on his shirt, or like the snake has like in his scales or something is like a number upside down. I'm like, oh, that's 2. So in the order of the pages, like so 4, 2, this, that, and the other. Or no, I'm sorry, it's not numbers. It's like a little flower, like a sun. And they have like the sun on their clothing, and it's like, this is the top button, like the 12 o'clock, the 3 o'clock, the whatever. You're like, got it. So in the order of the page, it's boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, and that opens the chest. I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. Like, it's just, nostalgic seems like the wrong word, but there's like this whimsical, like childhood wonder to it. In the fact that you're like in the first level, you're like in this kid's room being like, my mom does this, but I want to do this. And I want to be like mom, but here are the confines I have with my itty bitty camera and my 4 walls and all the toys I have laying around. It's magical. Like I say magical sometimes for games, but this one felt that. This one is so great. And I'm like, this one comes out in July. I'm gonna be bugging the devs like, listen. I'm gonna need you to let me to cover this game. I'm gonna need a key for this one. I need to drop a review day 1 for this one. You need to hook me up. I'm so excited for Star Named Eos.
I get that. Daphne also mentioned that the story and voice acting are a particular standout.
Okay.
That the music and sound design are excellent. And that the narrative will probably be chef's kiss.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to cry.
I want to play this, but I know that I'm gonna be bad at this. Because that kind of puzzle solving just does not work with my brain.
Sure.
And I hate it because I like everything about this I love, and I might play this with like if it's been out for a while and there are like guides to help me out when I get stuck. I might just do that because I really want to play it.
100%. Yeah. I definitely have had those issues with puzzle. Like I talked about Ringo. I mean, like one of my biggest complaints as a creator when it comes to puzzle games, I'm so used to being like, I can't figure out this puzzle. Let me look up someone's thing. Then I'm like, oh, I got this game early. No one else can tell me. I have to figure it out. So I'm like, I'm bashing my head through the wall. I'm like, shit, this puzzle's not that bad. I just don't know what to do. I can't figure it out. I wish someone could tell me. Like, I need like a special Discord for like every game I get a review code for. Then I'm like, hey guys, what'd you do for chapter 5? Like, oh, if you do this and flip this up sound, you got it. Like, thanks, you a real one. But then there's embargo, so I'm like, I can't be like, who else is playing this game so I can ask you a question, otherwise I get in trouble. So it's that's the review thing. But nah, man, Star Named Eos is great. But looks like she played one more on her list. Then we get back to what we played.
But it's a good one, and I also played this one, to be fair.
Bet
it's Tiny Bookshop.
Like
and oh my god, I cannot wait until this comes out.
I'm so ready to play.
It has these soft, cute vibes. And Daphne said, everything about this game screams yes to me. Meeting the townspeople is fun. Accessorizing your shop is fun. It's just a definite buy. This is going to be one of those cozy games that's going to be remembered for a long time, I think.
The one thing looking at the trailer that I haven't like figured out, but looking at anything, you move your shop around, like you take the trailer, move it into different places. Is that just kind of a random, today I'm in front of the hardware store, today I'm in front of the bay? Do you pick like a location when you go out? Like, is that...
You pick the location.
Okay. And is that tethered to like, I expect the grandmas do their book clubs at the coffee shops on Saturday, so I'm gonna go to the coffee shop. Like, is there any like progression to it? Okay.
Exactly. It's that kind of thing. Like,
that's so cool.
That day is gonna be like, there's gonna be more people at the beach because it's gonna be extra sunny. Or that day is the day of like a festival, so everyone's gonna be there. And those locations, like in the demo, you couldn't visit the different locations yet.
Okay.
But I feel like they're gonna get introduced within the narrative.
Yeah.
Which I always like. It's not just gonna be like, here are all of these locations, just pick. It's gonna involve the narrative, and I like that.
Man, I'm cheesing. I'm so excited for this game. It looks like so much fun.
Yeah, it does.
I gotta check this demo out. I might say the one for Saturday for stream. I'm so excited. But yo, Daphne, thank you so much for your list of indie games. We should take note to just bring Daphne on next year so that we just have a full discussion about Or no, not next year. Later this year. Whenever, if she wants to.
Later this year, yeah.
Yeah. Like, Daphne, come on. We'll talk about your games. How freaking yeah. All right, let's see here. Now, I let Daphne talk for a while, but now, timestamp, I let Daphne talk for a while. Now, let me tell you about one that I played before Next Fest started, and it's Bo Path of the Teal Lotus.
Yes.
Bro, I am so ready for this game. It drops on July 18th, along with Dungeon of Hinterberg and Shim. So, like, what are we gonna do? It's a busy day, but, no, I played the demo. It feels great. The flow is awesome. I made the comparison to Nine Souls for the art style, and it hits that. It's that everything is gorgeous. The combat wasn't over challenging. There were a couple times where I got like bopped because I'd like jump and then someone would shoot something and then I got hit and I fell in a hole and then came back and got shot again. I'm like, that was just dumb random goofiness, but it wasn't like, this game's too hard, I can't beat it. The music was so pretty. The character designs are top notch. Like, I'm trying to sit here, pull up the footage while I ramble, but oh my God. Like, I think the demo, me trying to get to the boss, tried a couple times and died. I think maybe it took me about hour 15 to get through. I might be undercutting that a little bit. But you upgrade and you get more like skills as you go. So like eventually you upgrade the staff, which you can use to like bounce off of enemies, then get to the top. You find these kooky characters. Like there's this one like two-headed bird who's just like, hey, can you jump across this broken bridge? And you can't, but you're supposed to try. Then when you try and you fall, now you're in this whole underground. Like now you have to get back up, but you have to beat the boss and find the pieces and run into this guy who's like, I'm missing all of my little rodent bugs. Can you find them for me? You bring them back to him. He's like, thank you so much. Now I have to leave and here's a blah, 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 blah. You pick up bamboo, which you use to upgrade stuff. There's one of the characters who's like, you're hurting. Here's a teacup. Or they give you a teapot, which you use to heal like throughout the level when you like get energy. And they're like, that was rude. You took my teapot. I'm like, you gave me the teapot. What are you talking about? And it's oh man, I've loved everything I've seen. And knowing from what I've seen in the trailer that there's even more to come that I haven't discovered in this footage, bro, I'm gassed. This is going to be so much fun. I want to think this will be the one that I prioritize come July 18th, but I can't tell you what mood Danny will be in that day. But this Danny's in the mood for Bo. Danny's in the mood for Bo right now.
Okay. What I was wondering, like I haven't played the demo yet. Is this more of a Metroidvania or is it more of a linear experience?
Definitely Metroidvania. I'm sure it's the point where I pull up the map. It seems recently I played Tales of Kenzera and I talked about how that had a very simple map. This one, not as simple as Tales of Kenzera, but what I've played, at least the map of the demo, was very, very simple. It wasn't overcomplicated. It's not like a super mega twists and turns and everything. There's obviously spots that go out and you'll kind of see like the hole in the wall in the map where I'm like, okay, so there's a secret in that wall that I haven't discovered. Or like here I find like that's a secret, but I don't know that I need a tool yet that I can launch these like dung beetles through it so I can get through. But my ass is like, can I break these walls? I'm not sure yet. So you see a bunch of hidden stuff like that. But yeah, definitely on the Metroidvania side. Here's the part about the bridge. We're like, can you make it? Can you make the jump? But he's cool. I like this guy. Or they're cool, I guess. This is a cool little friend. I hope to God they're not like, you dumbass, I'm the villain. I'm like, please don't. I like this guy. Oh man.
I have to say, this is one of my favorite art styles of any game releasing this year.
So pretty. Here's the teapot, bitch. This is a fucking this game, it's stunning. It's been on my most anticipated for a while, right up there with Plucky Squire. Can't wait to play more of this one, dude. I want to sink my teeth into it so much. Like this might be one I usually behind the scenes for like content creation thing. I'm often sitting at my desk because like when I'm playing something, I want to capture the footage for a future review for the podcast, so I have something to show for B-roll. And like this is one where I'm like, shit, I want to like draw the blinds, get my Snuggie, sit in the living room, put on some show, and just play on my Steam Deck and not worry about capturing footage. Like I want to be in this one. I want to be in the world. I want to be lost in there.
Damn.
Yeah, dude,
that's some high praise.
It's great. It's great. I'm hoping I'm expecting the game to maintain that level of quality throughout. And listen, I'll be sad if it doesn't, but I have no reason to believe it won't. I think they're killing it.
Okay.
But how about you? What you play for Next Fest?
Well, I played one that you that I noticed you played as well, the Crush House.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
How you liking Crush House?
I'm not gonna lie, I was really looking forward to this game, but I haven't quite figured the gameplay out just yet.
Okay. I was ready to be like, I was gonna like it, but this game sucks. I'm like, no.
Oh
Tofr,
no.
Okay.
It's not that it sucks. It's just like I'm not getting it completely yet.
Sure.
Because like the premise is that you work on a reality show.
Yeah.
But apparently you're the only camera person there.
That's kind of weird.
It's just a bit weird. And you have to like please your audience with what you're showing, the footage that you're showing them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not really sure yet how to achieve that. So maybe you can enlighten me on this.
Yeah. So there's definitely spots I haven't figured out myself yet because the way it works, as someone who loves Big Brother, this shit's right up my alley. I can't wait for the new season this summer. Let's get it. But yeah, so when you go in on like the first day, you have like one audience. As you go, you get more audiences. Some who are like, I want to see the romance. Some that want to see the fights. Some who want to see like the technical savviness of like, ooh, my production quality is really high. Like they want to see all those different things. So like if you're watching the video version at the top, they have, I forget what they all mean. The eyeballs, I think, are like the viewers, like they want something fancy. The wine is like the wine moms, the real life, Real Housewives type vibe. And I forget what the flowers are, maybe just some kind of botany group, but they all want different things. You can see in this clip, I've like completed my task for all of them. So I've made them all happy. So for the rest of the day, I'm just kind of doing whatever. But as you're walking around the house and you'll see like on the side here, like, oh, they probably look so sweet asleep. I guess that person wanted me to capture footage of them sleeping. They never went to sleep for me. I don't know how I'm supposed to get that. Okay. I don't know if I don't quite have the resources. Like, am I supposed to drug their wine or their crush juice so that they fall asleep and then I get that? I'm like, yes, the audience is happy. Because like, that's a little weird. But like, it seems like as you progress and get new things, the better you do on the show, the more money you make from advertisers and viewership. And then, now forgive me, because look, there's an audience. I don't know if you've gotten the audience yet. There's an audience that wants ass. There's an audience. Their logo is a peach emoji, and they're like, I want nothing but ass.
And that audience is called Danny.
Well, that too, because Charlie's kind of bad. Charlie and Priscilla are both bad. I'm down for them. Right now, those are my baby girls. I respect and love them. However, there is an audience that, like, as you're playing, here, I'll get the other footage so I don't seem like I'm the weirdo, because it's there. Where they at? Here they are. So you see right here. Yeah. So you see at the top, there's a peach, and they'll just message me like, I want ass. I need 6 cheeks. Pants are the prison for the ass. And like, there's all these different things. So like you won't please that audience if you're not filming their ass. So like, you have to do that. So I want people to know I'm not a creeper. I was capturing footage for the audience. Okay.
He was just doing his job.
I was just doing my job. But then even as you go, and then it got a little spicy. I'm like, oh God. I feel like I might have to. I looked away from this. I was like, I don't know if I can. It's a video game, guys. I'm going to jail. But yeah, like I think it is, as the audience are asking, you want more things that you have to unlock, and I don't know if that's going to become like a challenge curve. If like, oops, I didn't pick the right thing, because by the end of my 4th night, I think my show got canceled. I didn't please any of the audiences because I didn't do enough for any of them to like reach their goals. I think I needed to please like 3 audiences, and I got none. So my show got canceled, and that was the end of the demo. Thanks for playing, etc. I wanted to imagine that was like, here's the challenge. So like the demo just doesn't keep going. Like you're meant to fail. That's my guess, but I don't know for sure. But I could see the challenge of being like, oh, you didn't pick this particular thing. So like, nobody wanted to see karaoke that day, but you bought the karaoke machine. Now you lost points because you could have done this and the other. So that I haven't quite figured out yet. But it is basically just like getting the dumb stupidness that they write it and ask for. Some people want dynamic angles. Like, can I see the garden from behind the well? That's kind of weird, but sure. And then just building that audience, getting into fights, capturing that footage. Here's another spot where there's a group of guys who want pipes. They're like, what do the pipes look like? And I thought it was an innuendo. They literally wanted to see the pipes from the development room. So you go in and you can see them be like, yes, pipes. And I'm like, okay, sure, I guess.
Nice.
But no, it's just awesome. I like wasn't sure how I was going to play, and I'm still a little lost on how it's all going to function and how much is like demo specific, but I'm here. I want to see the rest of this cast. I want to see what the characters do. I want to see them evolve, what different audiences there are. I'm really into Crush House.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I just hadn't figured it out completely yet. But I was really impressed with like the quality of production.
Yeah, it's really
like
nice.
It felt like this is just a piece from a completed game.
Yeah. And I forget, I think we got it. This one's September, I believe, so it's not too far out.
Is it September?
I think so, unless I'm making it up. I thought that was at one of the directs.
August 9th.
August. Oh shit! Then what else? September. Maybe that was Angerfoot. Was Angerfoot September?
Let me see.
I'm trying to remember. I want to say something for Devolver was September, but just to show that I'm equal rights.
Angerfoot is July.
Fuck. What was September? Sometime in December. But just to show I'm equal rights for all asses. I also got the guy's ass. It's flat, but I got the guy's ass.
He doesn't have an ass.
Exactly. But the audience loved it, you know? See, I'm giving each ass a score. I don't want to see anything but butts. That's what they asked for. That's what I was doing it for the audience. You guys begged for it.
I loved how that audience apparently is called the butt guys.
Yeah, the butt guys. Yeah, dude. I think this one's gonna be really fun. Based on like I streamed this one last night on Twitch as of recording, and my audience doesn't seem too into watching it. So I could see this being like, if you like reality shows, or even if you like the dumb gimmick of reality shows, I think people will get really into this, being like, I'm behind the scenes on Big Brother. I'm behind the scenes on The Challenge or Survivor. Yeah. And I assume it's only the one house. I assume it is the Crush house. But if like eventually there's like DLC where there is like a Survivor world, right? Where it's like, cool, you're doing the Crush house, Lost Island or something, and I get different environments, different stuff. That sounds fun to me. Like if the Crush house just gets expansion after expansion of new things, or like Crush House 2, Electric Boogaloo, and some dumb shit. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am so, I won't say surprised, but I am more happy about Crush House than I thought I would be.
Okay. This is a Devolver game.
It is a Devolver game, so it's got to be good.
Danny does love a Devolver game.
I love my Devolver. Devolver, now pay me. I plugged the game. Let's go.
What else did you play then?
What else did I play? Let me scroll back up here. I played, let me see here. Yeah, let's get on the list. I played Hermit and Pig. So I got this one actually went through some weirdness where they had keys early for some people for the demo. But the demo didn't go live the day it was supposed to. So they're like, oh, these keys are up and this, that, and the other. So I played a good chunk of it. I did get stuck at a certain point, but I'll get into that. But basically, it's an RPG. You play as the hermit who's just out in the woods, doing your thing, collecting sticks, eating mushrooms. You got your pet pig. And you're just playing through your life, going through your adventure, doing the damn thing every day. And I don't know why I just sat there looking at Oink for so long. But I enjoy the combat in this one a lot because it's really unique. So it is turn-based combat, very much like Earthbound, where like you're at the bottom, you have all the characters on the top. But it is input based. You have to remember, did I leave okay. Okay, that's a pop-up for me. I'm like, did I have fucking Ubisoft Forward on my screen the whole time? But you have to remember the combos, right? So there's one for stomp. So it's like YAA. And each turn you pick attack, input the 3 face buttons you want, and then you hit the trigger to activate your attack. Sometimes there's like a mini game with like a meter that goes up and down that'll show, can I get to like combat? Did I fucking record any combat in here? Shit. But yeah, so then there's stomp, there's swing, there's slap. Eventually you run into people and have interactions. I think these are forced to be cringe because you're a hermit, you don't interact with humans. So sometimes they're like, how you doing out here? You're like, nice hat. And you're like, ooh, that's cringy. All right, well, bye. I'm like, oh shit. Did I fuck up? Or is that like supposed to happen? The point I got stuck at, there's a little girl you meet, she gets like taken or she screams and gets lost, you're trying to get to her, but the path is blocked by some guy and it's like, hey, he needs a red truffle to get up. I couldn't figure out how to find the truffle. And I quickly looked up someone who played the previous demo, which is a little bit different, but on his game, the pig was just like, oh, there's a truffle in the ground and get it. I don't know if it wasn't prompting, if I was supposed to do some kind of input. I did the thing where I clicked every button and like nothing happened. So I ended up getting a point where I'm like, I'm kind of stuck and I'd rather just go play new demos and sit here and like try and figure out what's wrong. So I don't know if that was a player error, if that was a game error that happened there. I can't say for sure. But the combat is unique enough where I'm like, this is cool. I think people are going to like the change of pace for other turn-based games.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the fact that they have the same hat.
Yeah, dude.
Both
They
the
look
pig
great.
and the hermit.
Yeah, there's like the book from like a karate master or something. Excuse me. I'm dying.
Oh,
But
no. Don't die. I can't carry the show alone.
well, I'm just gonna have to. I'm out. I can't hit end recording. This is gonna be a long ass episode now. You better buckle in. But yeah, he'll give you the book and like here are the different attacks. There's slapping things with your cane, and yeah, you'll input those each time you fight. So it's in the spot of each turn is timed, so you could open the manual, learn the thing, go back, attack, ding, 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 go. You have enough time for that. But I think what the game wants you to do is memorize those as you go. So every time I learn stomp, I need to remember it's YAA. Or depending on the platform, it might just be up, down, down, like on PC. But I play with an Xbox controller. But they'll tell you, yeah, do this combo. And I'm like, oh, it's a bug. I want to stomp it. So YAA, attack, boom. The icon moves when they go to attack. If you hit in the right spot, boom, they don't do the damage. They do light damage. And you do that until you like complete the game or complete the encounter and then move forward. So there's slingshot. So I assume for birds, you want to, slingshot them out of the air type deal. It's fun. It's fun so far. I wish I didn't get stuck at that spot because I kind of wanted to see it through and be like, this is how I felt towards the end. But I am just like, I kind of got stuck. I didn't know where to go. But maybe I'll try and swing back if I have like a lull for Next Fest and play a little more.
All right.
Yeah. I know I'd given you a key for the early access one because they gave me a couple. And I was like, if you get to it. So I assume you're like, I hate pigs. No.
It sits on my computer.
Fair enough.
Among the over 70 demos that I currently have installed.
So many, dude. What else do you play?
Well, you mentioned it a bit earlier because it's another Devolver joint.
I know.
It's Angerfoot.
Yeah, baby. Angerfoot's sick.
It's so angy.
It's so angry.
This is one of those games like for people who don't know what it is. It's a first-person shooter where you kick things a lot, and it's one of those games that I'm not as good at, which might become frustrating after a while. So far, like the respawns are quick.
Yep.
And you're straight back into the action, which I like. And levels aren't too long either. Plus, there's the delightful rhythm to the action, which I'm a big fan of. The dun 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 dun. Yeah. But I feel like I might get frustrated with this after a while.
Yeah.
But that's just on me because I'm really just not that good. Because gameplay is fun, it's frantic, but it's frantic in all the right ways.
Yeah, it's I played the demo. Now I haven't played the new one, so I don't know how much is there. Do you get to try the new shoes and stuff in this demo, or is it?
I haven't tried any new shoes, but I haven't played the demo for that long because I haven't had that much time.
Sure. I played the original itch demo like years ago, and really fucked with it. I'd always call out like. It's very Hotline Miami-esque where the goal is to run in, kill some dudes. Ooh, I fucked up. Let me go again. But I know this dude's going to pop out from this door. So next time, turn my head faster. Excuse me. Still coming down from a cold, so I keep fucking that up. But I'd always call out like the enemies in a room where you die. Anyone who's left starts to like Fortnite dance on your ass. They'll start emoting. I'm like, I fucking now I'm coming back to end you because you pissed me off. You're not gonna emote on me, brother. I'm not doing this. Nah, but it's a fun challenging. I really dug this one from the first demo. So I'm excited to check out the new one and see where it's at in 2024.
Yeah, it's July 11th.
So freaking.
That was really fortunate for me because I was gonna say I think it's July and then it just popped up on screen.
You're like, I think it's July. Yeah. No, this one's great. This one's so goofy, dude. And like, it was great seeing at the Devolver one because all of them are kind of like, if you saw our reaction to the Devolver showcase, they would do like a Cult of the Lamb, an expansion that and this one was like, I don't think it was one that ended the show, but towards the end there was just like a interaction with the cop and everyone's sweating and the heart's beating. I'm like, what is happening? And then they cut to, like they pan and there's just the Angerfoot dude running through the yard. I'm like, look, there he is, Angerfoot. That's so great. Yeah, dude, that's a fun one. Now that might be the thumbnail for the upcoming July games for for this year. Might have to use Angerfoot.
Probably.
That, but I mean, who knows? There's like 40 other games coming out. Maybe not that many. Just a lot of big good ones. But
there are some good ones coming out in July.
It's so big. I gotta pull up the Indian form of that and see what's on there.
Everyone's gonna be on the beach, and I'm gonna be like, I'm at home with my Steam Deck.
Yeah, dog. Who needs the beach? Or bring my Steam Deck to the beach, you know what I mean?
Nah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's kind of gross. Probably get some sand in those. Look, those fans are already working overtime. They don't need sand to be helping with that.
Exactly.
Bet, any thoughts on Angerfoot?
I'm gonna play it, even though I might get frustrated. This has like the, if you remember what I said about Celeste.
Yeah.
And the challenge not being my type of challenge, but it still being good enough of a game to keep going. I feel like Angerfoot has that same quality to it.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Yeah. Angerfoot. This just brings me closer. I made a tweet earlier this year where I talked about like a Devolver Smash Bros. And everyone's like, frame makers. I'm like, they don't update that game enough. I mean, I'm sure they are, but like if there was a Devolver Smash Bros. With all those IPs, Angerfoot's another one. Put them in there. We have the girl from Neva. We have Possessors now. The Lamb, we call it the Lamb. There's so many. The Messenger. Like there's all these different characters that could be in this dope ass game. So I'm saying Devolver, if we want to do a Smash clone, you got the IP, baby. Ape out.
You really do.
You imagine being the gorilla just tossing people off the map?
I'd probably play as the sniper from the game from earlier this year, the Children of the Sun.
Yeah, ooh, that'd be a lit one, dude. That's gonna be technical. You're gonna have to edge guard. Be like, I'm gonna stay over here. Like, yo, Tofr's sniping. You get rushed by the fucking ape out gorilla. He's like, no, sure.
Oh god, the ape out gorilla. Oh, good times.
That's crazy, man. What a good game. I was hoping to get a sequel or something. If not, ape out freaking Carrion comes and gets you next. Like you're. Oh man. Let me see. I'll talk about One Button Boss next. This is often like what Daphne said earlier, like this could be a mobile game. This One Button Boss gives that same vibe. So it's a very simple boss rush game where you play as like a plane spaceship type deal and you're on like a linear is the wrong word, but you're on like a closed path. So you only go like one particular route, but you have to either go clockwise or counterclockwise. And the way it works is the boss in the center of the screen, they're doing like these readable attacks. If you're watching the footage, you're seeing like this red is like, he's about to attack, don't go in there. And what you want to do is hit spacebar and you'll switch directions. That's all you really do. And while you're flying around, your character's just shooting little bullets. And the longer you're hitting them, the more damage they do because the longer you're in a certain direction, you just kind of charge up and go more damage. But each time you turn, it resets like basic damage. So there's going to be upgrades and stuff that I assume are going to benefit you to be like, if I just stay and power through, I'll do more damage and do it faster than if I stopped to like swing and do this, that, and the other. That's all it really is. You beat a boss, you pick the path, go to the next one. They have some goofy sayings sometimes where one's like, huh, you should have stayed home, Junior. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, fuck out of here. I did get like stuck on the last boss. Like he was kicking my teeth in, but I'm like, I could see myself completing this. I'm going to try out like 4 or 5 other games real quick. I could easily see, just with like the use of the space on the screen in like HD, like I could totally see this being cut to. I'm glad I caught the same fucking shit like 8 times. I'm trying to get new footage. But I could totally see this being on mobile platforms. So like if this one doesn't get a mobile port, I'd be like surprised, honestly. It might already have one for all I know. But it's simple. There's not a lot to do. It is literally just hitting a button to turn which way you're going. Yeah. But I dug it. It was fun.
It really reminds me of Froggy's Battle.
Kind of, yeah, pretty much. Like it is very simple.
And then a boss rush version.
Yeah. And the demo, at least what I got through, doesn't have any of that. It shows like the menus you can change. It's either you change the type of gun you have or you can change what your flip does. I didn't look too much because they were locked. But yeah, there's different upgrades you can take when you go into each battle. So you can kind of diversify how you play. I'd have to go back and look again, see what it does. But yeah, no, okay. One Button Boss is one I heard about a couple times. I saw a demo, wanted to check it out. And delighted with it. I think it'll be fun.
Okay. I do like the minimalistic look.
Yeah. Simple colors.
That's a real highlight, yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to talk about something else. I've got Dungeons and Degenerate Gamblers.
Yeah.
I know I already spoke about it. I think maybe a number of times even.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be such a good one. For the people who loved Balatro, this is gonna be a similar vibe, but instead of poker hands, here you're playing blackjack against a host of characters. So you're not just trying to beat the game, you're actually trying to beat other characters within the game. But like Balatro, it features cards that shouldn't be in your deck. There's business cards, there's tarot cards, there's Geralt from The Witcher. Yeah. But it's so much fun, and like the looks are a bit more crude than Balatro was, but it kind of fits with the vibe that they're going for, because you're like in this seedy bar playing blackjack with people, and I love it. And the demo just like convinced me all over again.
Yeah, dude. Chris RV2 the other day, he was listening to the episode while at work, and he was just like, damn it, what's that game Tofr mentioned? I'm like, which one? He's like, the card one. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. So he was sitting in Discord the one night playing, and I'm like, okay, this is what it's about. When they're just like, I heard them talk about this one in the game, and I got to play it, and that was really cool. So the other Chris was very excited about your recommendation of Dungeons and Degenerate, and he was like, okay, this looks cool.
That's cool to hear. That's cool to hear.
Yeah, this is dope. Was there any like standout stuff that you played? You're like, oh, this happened. You're like, I recognize this about the gameplay. Anything that was kind of like new appearance? You're like, I went in and got what I expected type deal.
It was basically like what I remembered from playing the demo before.
Yeah.
It just it was all there and then some.
Okay.
It just feels so good to play, and it like rounds are pretty quick.
Okay.
Because like basically you're just trying to get as high up with your score, but not past 21, and that's it. And it goes, it flows really well, just like Balatro does.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Looks great. I gotta play that demo too. Shit.
Yeah, you do.
Before I get to that one, I played a game called Mech Builder. This was relaxing. So
really?
Yeah, last year we had a game come out called Retro Gadgets. And the whole thing was like you're sitting at your desk, light on, and you're like fixing old Game Boys or old Walkman, and you're kind of putting all the tech together. I still have to play the game. I own it, haven't played it yet. That's on me. But this is very similar. For anyone who likes to build Gundams, it is that. You're getting the Gundam sheets, I guess they're called, whatever the little units are that have everything attached. You're getting the scissors, you're cutting the little plastic pieces, you're placing them on the desk. You have the instructions that tell you what you need to connect. But it's not so much that you're getting a step-by-step of like, all right, connect section A to section B. It'll be like, here's the sheet, here's what the arms look like. And from all the pieces on the table, you have to be like, okay, so if I put this on this, that'll make this piece. We connect this, cool, got it. So we played this on stream last night. Such a vibe. I'm like, I'm going to build 2 or 3 of these. I played through the whole demo. I think it was like 6 mechs. Once you build the mech, there's sticker sheets you can put on, or I think you have to put on the stickers, but there's like certain spots. We had a funny bit where like sometimes mechs have these like groin shield things, you know what I'm talking about? The way they kind of like a skirt. And like there's a sticker that had to go on there, so I kept calling it the pee-pee sticker. And chat's like, Danny, what the fuck's a pee-pee sticker? And I'm like, guys, if you're as old as you are and you don't know about the pee-pee stickers, yikes. That's a personal hygiene thing you got to figure out. And they're just like, Danny, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, it's a joke. I'm making fun of the stupid stickers that go on the crotch. You're like, that's so dumb. I hate you. But once you put the stickers on, you can repaint them. So sometimes there's like, this one should be white, blue, and orange, but you can make it, I'm going to make it all red, or I'm going to do this. And it seems like as you go, there'll be more tools. I don't know if the demo showed everything you'll have, but they definitely get more complicated. Like the first one was like the small little dude. It was maybe like 40 pieces. Then later you're talking like you get the arm, but you got to put the shoulder piece on, and the shoulder piece has a shield that goes on top. So you kind of have to map out and like see what size fits everything and then slap it together. Or you can cheese it like I did. And what you do is you just grab each piece, cut everything out, and just start swinging it on the screen. Because the moment it like connects with the next piece, they're like, you'll drop it and it'll connect with itself. So I'm like, cool. Then you grab it again and do it again. And eventually they connect. And you're like, cool, I built the arm, put it aside, and then just do that again with the other ones. That was the dumb goofy thing when I got lost. I'm like, I'm not really sure what to build next. Then I would do that. I'm like, oh, cool. Now I can see it. Beep, 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 beep. But that was a fun, goofy thing I found. But the game's just relaxing. Like, it's just super chill. You just cut the stuff, put it together, move on, build the next mech. I don't know how many levels are going to be. This one, I think, is like end of June, mid-July. We're supposed to see this one. but it's great. It's really cool. I think Don is the name of the developer, Don Patchy. I closed the Steam page. Yeah, Don Patchy. He's made something really cool here, and this is just super relaxing. And this makes me be like, damn, Danny, go back and play Retro Gadgets. And after Next Fest, I should do that. This is fun. This is really cool. Mech Builder's awesome.
It does look cool, and the mechs look amazing.
Yeah, dude, they're super awesome. I almost wish and again, it's in the world of we're indie devs, we work within our means and make the game and then go from there. I'm like, I almost wish it was in 3D so I could kind of turn the mechs around and see that. I think that changes the game a lot, and I think it makes it a lot more complicated than it is, so I don't necessarily want that. But if it was 3D and ooh, check this out, I think that'd be dope. But
okay,
go Mech Builder.
Cool.
What else did you play, Tofr? We're at the part where just keep going back for games.
I have a couple more. I'm gonna go through them a bit more quickly because otherwise I think we might be here for a while.
We're at an hour 20. What? There's so many games to play. That's what they're here for.
That's true.
Not including the Nerdstorm.
The next one I played was Just Crow Things.
Yes, Just Crow Things. Awesome.
Yeah, this is a game that will delight people who enjoy things like Goat Simulator.
Yep. Because
this is just chaos. You are a crow and you're there to create chaos. It's far less buggy than Goat Simulator was, although of course Goat Simulator was intended to be that buggy.
Yeah.
This game controls feel really tight and purposeful. I have to say it's not entirely my jam.
Okay.
It felt a bit too open for me. I get that there's things you have to do. For example, when you start playing after the tutorial, you have to poop on a number of cars.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious that the cars flip up because poop lands on them and stuff like that. It's hilarious, but it feels like if you're watching the video version, maybe you understand what I'm trying to say. It's a lot of chaos, and I like my chaos a little more controlled.
I like my chaos less chaotic, please.
Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to explain because, for example, Goat Simulator, I can't play that game.
Sure,
but
that's
then,
wild.
Untitled Goose Game, I adored.
Okay.
But Untitled Goose Game felt like there was chaos within these small mini levels.
There was a reality to the chaos. It wasn't like you mentioned already, cars fucking flying through the air, being boom, a little.
But that's hilarious,
right? Interesting.
So I don't really know. It just didn't. I didn't feel compelled to keep playing. But I think that a lot of people will.
Yeah, I played the demo a couple months back, one of the early creator ones. I got a key for that one, which I don't think at this point I have to say, but just to be safe, I had a key for that demo. And yeah, it was just the first level. You explored and did some stuff. You found the babies for the mom, and I enjoyed it enough. It's one that I think is goofy enough. And again, this is the creator brain where I'm would my chat like to watch this? I could see them being oh my God, the birdie pooped. That's funny. And then enjoying that for stream. Where I could also see myself just kicking back and letting chaos reign while I fucking binge anime or something. Nice. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see more of it. I definitely see the simplicities in it. I think as I get older, I see I like a little more objective in my game. So that's why sometimes with those city builders, right? We talked earlier about Monterona, whichever one. Where I'm just throwing up buildings typically isn't enough for me. I don't have something to aim for. So that's typically where I'll play the demo. I'm okay, I probably won't pick this one up because I'm not. Once I just put walls up, I'm I guess I'm kind of done. There's not much more for me to do. So this one hits that spot of it is just do this in the confined space, then move forward. So yeah, it all varies. I could see myself getting more into it, but whether I'll finish it when it drops, TBD.
Yeah.
Crowy.
Then my next game is another whodunit because I apparently really love whodunits.
Whodunits are pretty good.
I played the Duck Detective recently. On Your Tail was a really good demo, and then I played Spill the Beans.
I don't remember which one this was.
Yeah, this one is a visual novel, but with an interesting take because we already know who done it. You did.
Me?
Yes.
But I'm just the gamer.
The cool thing is it's up to you to blame others and make someone else the ultimate scapegoat for your crime. It should be interesting with its fantasy setting as well. And I was digging it. I was digging my time with it. I do like visual novels. I have to preface that. But it's a good one. It's a fun one. And yeah.
Oh. Hey, Switch Highly, and thank you for the follow on Twitch. I didn't turn my alerts on to the podcast. That's crazy. Oh, damn. This is interesting, right? Because I think we saw us at Wholesome Direct, I believe.
Could be.
And
did they show it?
I think we saw it somewhere recently. Maybe it might have been at Gorilla. There were a lot of showcases last week. It was somewhere. And like, I saw it was like the visual novel, but I didn't catch that it was like, you're the person who did it, now like frame somebody else. And then, not to be insanely misogynistic, but this fish lady, she kind of bad though. Like, I don't think I can blame her. I think I might be like, you know what? No, it was me. I did do it. I'm sorry. And like that anyway. But that sounds really fun. I like the twist on that, is like blaming somebody else. And that might just be my brain like disappearing and not thinking about what was on the screen or paying attention to like the narrative of it. But this is cool. Now I gotta check this one out too.
Yeah, give it a try. It's a lot of fun.
Was it so like, did you complete a run, I guess? Is it like the goal is like blame this person, boom, you won, then try again? Am I talking like Monster Prom Dating Sim style here? Or?
I didn't yet because like I said, I wanted to try a number of demos before we started recording today.
Okay.
So I didn't get to blame anyone yet. I just know that that's what's gonna happen.
Okay. And I'm
but
watching.
I did get like introductions to all of the characters.
Yeah.
And they all feel interesting. They all have this backstory that really adds to the lore.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Now the next one, another demo I have to play, but I'm excited to hear what you got to say. What you got on Mythwrecked here?
It's another one that I didn't spend too much time with because I'm already convinced.
Bet.
And I want to save myself for the full game.
Yeah.
Basically, like I wrote down, the Greek gods have had quite a renaissance in indie games in recent years.
They sure have, dude. They sure have.
And this time around, you end up shipwrecked on an island inhabited by these gods, except they can't remember who they are or why they are there. Mm-hmm. Basically, at the beginning of this demo, you arrive on the island, and the first person you talk to is Hermes, but Hermes doesn't seem to remember that he's Hermes.
Damn, Hermes, how you forgetting?
You start out just doing simple quests for him. For example, he asks if you want to feed the birds because he loves the birds.
Okay.
So he gives you some fruit, and you give that to the seagulls around the island, and then that gives you friendship points, and then that should allow you to like move on and discover more of the island. That's all I played so far, but
okay.
Like if you like games with fetch quests and good narratives, this is gonna be a game for you.
Yeah, this one looks great. I hate it because it was at PAX. It was right next to the Dustborn booth, which is like one of my first demos. So I'm like, cool, I'm gonna swing it back around to this one. But it's like when you go shopping and it's at the front of the store, and then as you go in, you do all your other shopping, you check out, and on the way out, you're like, shit, I meant to grab that, and like it just passed me by. So I meant to play that at PAX and didn't get to. So now I'm like, that's on the list. I have to play that demo over Next Fest. I have to play so many demos over Next Fest.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, it looks great. It looks. I'm glad you're on top of it. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm super jazzed.
Absolutely. The writing is fun, and I feel like the mystery is gonna be intriguing enough.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. I'm gonna buy this.
It looks so good. It looks so good. Oh man, and you have one more that you played so far, which I'm excited to hear about, because this one I don't know if I'm on board with the style yet. So I want to hear about. Is it EbiTapes? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
I actually love this childlike art style.
Okay.
I get that it's not for everyone, but I feel like it suits the sense of wonder that this game tries to present.
Yeah.
Basically, this is a game set in a world where music is a big no-no.
Oh no.
Yeah. and you have to record sounds and mash them together into songs.
Oh.
And maybe you'll be able to save the big festival from the Shushinator.
Not the Shushinator.
The Shushinator. So I think the style here, it is very childlike, but it does remind me of that sense of wonder that you have as a child. And when you're younger and you start discovering music, it reminds me of that, and I think it's gonna add to the game, but we'll see. I enjoyed my time with the demo, that's for sure.
I think where I get turned off is that, not that I dislike the art style, but I think because the art style is like a kid with crayons, like a 3-year-old being like, "Mom, I drew you," and it's like, "Oh, Mom looks hideous" type deal, like proportions are terrible. In my head, I immediately am like, "Ooh, do the controls feel just as like immature or like not quality as the art style is?" Right? Obviously with intent. But like, did you feel like it controlled fine? Was that like ever an issue that was like, no, it felt good, it felt bad?
It controlled perfectly.
Okay.
It was, it feels like, can I think of an indie game that felt similar?
Probably Cuphead. It's a good one. I think they all feel like Cuphead.
Yes, it's exactly like Cuphead, but it looks better.
Yeah. I'm sitting here trying to shit, damn. Fuck. Yeah, that's MDHR, Tofr coming for your throat. 1920s? Nah, dude, that shit trash. Bet. Yeah, I'm sitting here trying to think too. I'm like, what other, like, I immediately think of #blood. I'm like, is that the only game I can think of this style right now? I don't even fucking can't think of the exploration kind of top down thing, but bet. That puts me at ease then, because like I said, I think I can dig the like childhood whimsy of it, but I'm like, oh, what if it doesn't feel good? If it doesn't like play well, I might not love it. But you said it's perfect.
It feels really, really good, yeah.
All right, download that one too. I'm trying to fit it in. Oh Lord. But I think that's everything we actually got our hands on. Now, I did play a couple. I played a couple more on stream, but they were a little more on the smaller side. Just quickly, I played Teeny Tiny Trains, which is just a puzzle game where you lay down tracks and then let the trains go. Oop, they made their objective nice. The other one I played was called Prickle, which is a puzzle game where you play as a hedgehog or a porcupine. You're one or the other. I don't know. And the whole goal is when you contact with the other hedgehog / porcupines, they are now a part of your like moving unit, so you have to move around and pick them up while like solving the puzzles, because like if you pick up like 1 2 3 and now you're too long and the path up is only 3 wide, you're 4 wide, so you messed up the puzzle, so you have to start over and then be like grab 2 across, but then grab 1 on top, so you look more like a Tetris block, so you can still fit through the thing. It was fun. I definitely got stuck on a level. It's great. Like, it's a simple art style, it's just black and white. And I really, here, I can pull that one up. It's relaxing, simple, but I ended up getting to puzzles where I was like, what do I do here? I can't really figure out like what the next move is. Because there's one where I had to kind of be on the right, and you can get hints from the game of like where you need to go. But literally on the map, I could not piece together how I could possibly build myself in this way and collect all the different porcupines. Like here, this is simple. You just grab them all, go through the door. As long as when you touch the door, you're done. But here, it's like, oh, I'm too wide. So you turn again. Here, if you turn, slide them in, boom, get the door. It's really simple. It's cute. I dug it. I think maybe I was just in the wrong space. I'm like, I don't know how to get through here. But you can see there, like, they can't fit. They're too big. They're stuck in the path. You can't leave. But yeah, Prickle's cool. I think people will dig Prickle. Go play some Prickle.
I think so.
Other than that, I don't think I played anything. One button boss on your tail, Ringo, Crash House. Yeah, that's all stuff. At least I played on stream there. And then, I lie. I played one other one, which I dug enough, but I think I have other games I prefer. It's called Monkey Simulator. Monke. No Y. There's also a game this next fest called Just Keep Running. Friend of the show, Victor. I am myself. He's making Just Keep Running. Please go play Just Keep Running. Monkey Simulator is Just Keep Running, except you're playing as a monkey going through stuff. I felt a little uncomfortable with some of the dialogue, where it's like, "Where are you going, you monkey?" And I'm like, as a black man playing this game, I don't think I love that. I don't think I love hearing that in my headphones. I don't think I love that. And I get it. That's not the intent. It's like a Safari survivor yelling at an actual monkey. But like in this day and age, I felt targeted. And again, I didn't feel that like that's not what the intent was. I like to hope not. But I was like, I don't like this yelled in my ear. I think I'm going to move to something else.
Yeah.
So if I have the option to turn off the Safari man who keeps calling me a monkey, I would like that. I'd prefer that personally. So
yeah.
That being said, the game was fun. I enjoyed flying through the levels and everything. Just the dialogue every time I died of hearing like, this monkey can't escape me. I'm like, no, I think I'm okay. I think I'm gonna pass on that one.
I get that.
But timestamp, no actual timestamps. Real quick, because we spent a good chunk of time on that, we'll run through some of the other demos that we want to play yet for this Steam Next Fest. You want to run through yours quick?
Die in the Dungeon has got a new demo specifically for Next Fest. It's basically a kind of roguelike deck builder, but with dice.
Yes,
and
it's
really cool. It's
Super
really
dope.
cool. Yeah. Do you want me to do all of them, or do we?
Yeah, power through all yours, quick description, and then we can jump on to releases.
All right. My next one is called Odada. Or Odada. I don't know what the... Yeah. It's a tactile music maker, which basically just allows you to make music any way you want. And it looks cozy. Yeah. It looks fun. That's all I can say about it.
I forgot. I did play this one. I did play Odada.
You did?
It's cute. It's charming. I suck at music. I think someone who is musically talented will do really well at this. Because you go level by level, like, oh, this one's putting like little blocks together, and each block like makes a noise. This one's playing piano, but it's set up to like a machine, so every time it goes through, you have to hit the note, so it'll like every time it cycles, it'll do that. Each one individually sounded great. Once I put them all together, it was just like bling, 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 bling. Like, ooh, yikes! I'm not good at this. So I think if I knew ahead of time that I was trying to match 7 different songs, I probably would have done better. My final track was pretty terrible, was pretty awful, but the actual gameplay going through and building stuff was fun. It was very relaxing. So Odada's cool. Okay. Yeah, definitely check that one out.
Cool.
But anyway.
Then I also have Undusted Letters from the Past. This is a game where you clean trinkets.
Yeah, baby.
I'm already way into Trash Goblin, and I'm definitely going to be into this one as well. Yeah. Next up, I've got Uncle Chop's Rocket Shop.
Yeah.
This one is what was it called? A roguelite spaceship repair simulation. And it just looks cool.
Yeah, I'm
repairing spaceships, but in a roguelike. I'm just really curious. This has been on my wish list for like a year, I think.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I'm actually gonna get down to play it.
Yeah, I just pulled up the screenshots and there's like a demon there. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck happened there? All right, now we got some stories from Uncle Chop.
I also have Techno Banter.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
This is a game where you play the bouncer at a techno club.
Oh.
And I'm just curious if this is gonna be like a Papers, Please like type of deal.
Oh.
I wanna see, like, I just want to give it a try. You have to sharpen your wits and deliver lyrical smackdowns to those not worthy of partying.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm just really curious about that one.
It looks like I have it downloaded. I don't recall doing that, but I have it downloaded, I guess.
Okay. Then I have one that I know you're really excited about as well, and that's Dustborn.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
You play a band, but you're not really a band.
Nah,
undercover. You're like spies traveling the divided states of America.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you want to tell them about this?
Yeah, dude, Dustborn fucks. It's great. Dustborn's awesome. I talked about it at PAX. I think I've brought it up 3 or 4 times since. Just it's got the makings of Life is Strange. It's got Telltale vibes. It's got... I make the comparison to God of War, not that it's quite the same, but like the third-person combat, there's like you can throw a bat and you have like a metal glove that'll call it back and stuff. So it's got a similar vibe. The combat might be my least favorite part so far. I'm hoping since I played it at PAX, it's fine-tuned a bit. But like the Telltale / Life is Strange parts are top-notch. I loved what I played of it. That demo's out. From what I understand, it's the same one I played at PAX, so I might jump back to see if anything's changed. But yeah, this one comes out in August, and I'm going to fucking feast. I'm going to feast on this one, dude.
Same. I have one more demo that, well, I have plenty more demos that I'm going to play. But one more that I'm going to mention today, and that is The Alters.
Bad. I know it's a demo.
It's an emotional sci-fi game where you play a simple worker who creates alternate versions of himself in a desperate attempt to escape from a planet where even sun rays can prove deadly. And it comes to us from 11-bit studios, who already made Frostpunk, who made The Thaumaturge, who played The Invincible. Well, no, they published The Invincible and The Thaumaturge, but they did develop Frostpunk and This War of Mine, apparently. Quality studio.
They published some small game called Moonlighter. I don't know if I've heard of that one before. I'm just kidding.
Moonlighter.
I love it. And Children of Morta, which I know is published for them. Cool. Yeah, dude. 11-bit. They out there doing the damn thing.
Yep. So which demos are you gonna?
Let me tell you. So we played the playtest for Dungeon of Hinterberg a few months ago, last month, whatever that was. Time's a circle. But there's a new demo, which from what I understand has new content. I'm hoping it's a little more combat and puzzle based. But I want to check out the new demo for Dungeons of Hinterberg and see what else they have to show. Another game I didn't get to play while I was at PAX because the line never ended. It was called Fallen Aces. It is, let me pull it back up to kind of like piece it together here. So it's like a first person, like, beat 'em up doesn't sound right. For simplicity, I'll say it's kind of a Doom clone-esque thing. Like, you're running around beating the shit out of people as like a mob boss. Very like a 1920s noir kind of vibe. Again, one I really wanted to get to at PAX, and I just like the amount of time I would have spent in line, I could have played 40 other demos. So I ended up passing on it. But I'm glad we got a demo at home because I want to check that one out. One I'm hoping I can get on with the boys. Wizards of Legends 2 had a demo, new 4-player co-op for Wizards of Legend. Really wasn't into it at the first showing because it went from pixel art to 3D, but they definitely polished it up. The world looks much nicer, and I'm definitely more into it. So I'm hoping I can some boy like, hey guys, down the Wizard of Legends demo, let's all try it out. So I'm hoping to get my hands on that one. Demon School. Keep saying if you like Persona, I think you'll like Demon School. Like top-down isometric type deal. It's got the chessboard type combat kind of thing. I think something of Eden. I forgot what that game's called. Something of Eden type combat. But I love the art style. Yeah, again, very Persona-esque. So Demon School is one I want to check out. We talked about earlier with Daphne, but Free Ride, the one like the personality test, like getting the different experiences. That one looks super sick. Can't wait to get my hands on it. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, I believe is the subtitle on that one. I had a little label shock this week when I officially saw it was labeled as a Souls-like. I'm like, oh no, my heart. But it looks sick. It's this third-person action adventure game. You've got like a little fox dude who's like a god or something, but he's like your companion, and you're just fighting gods. That's about it. You're fighting gods and shit. Okay. I'm sure it'll be hard, but like, I want to play it. It looks cool. I would follow it for so long. Now I'm committed. So if I lose, here we are. And then the last one I have on here is called Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Top-down adventure game. Grungy, weird, familiar, imaginary creature type vibes going on. Different animals. Another one from PAX that didn't have the line that Fallen Aces did, but everybody would sneak in. I tell you, Tofr, we were standing there like when that seat opens up, one of us is going to grab it so we can see Pipistrello. And I swear, if you looked away for a second, there were like 6 new people. I'm like, where the fuck did you guys come from? We were waiting here. How did you get in front of us? What happened? So I never got to play Pipistrello. But now I'm like, now it's just a funny name of Pipistrello that I have to play this game and see what it's about. Like, I have to see. But the art style is great. I remember seeing the big poster at PAX that gave me like Dodgeball Academia vibes with the art style. The game is more pixel based, but just like the character art and cover art and everything, I'm like, ooh, I like Dodgeball Academia. Maybe I'll like this. And then along with that, I've got like 70 other things installed, but those are kind of the big takeaway ones that I wanted to mention. So
yeah,
we're nailing it. But let us know in the comments, or well, if you're on Spotify, go over to YouTube and leave a comment. Tell us what you're looking for. But let us know if you're interested in playing this Steam Next Fest or what you have already played. Now, timestamp. Let's talk about the short list of indie games releasing this week between June 13th and June 19th. We've got Sunnyside coming out on June 14th for PC, as well as a PlayStation and Xbox releases later. Life Sim in the countryside of Japan seems chill. I've seen a bunch of people playing I think early access or a demo for it for Next Fest or something, but they seem to be chilling. Probably my biggest release for this week is #Blood coming out on June 18th for PC. Top-down vampire fighting game that's got this like Saturday morning cartoon art style. Super into that one. Can't wait. I think last Next Fest I played the demo and I was like, shit, this feels better than I thought it would. And now I can't wait to play more. There's like this whole social media mechanic where like the bully from school is like, oh, did you guys see Becky Brewster? She's ugly. And you're like, bitch, fucking talk to me again. I got my field hockey stick. Let's go. And it's funny as hell. Another one I'm both excited for and can totally understand if they want to delay it another year because I don't want to play it. Still Wakes the Deep coming out on June 18th for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. I've told everyone before, I have a deathly fear of open water in the ocean. You know how much shit's in there we've never seen, dog?
I know, right?
I don't like it. But you're on like a Scottish oil rig and you're like diving underwater to fix shit and move around. And I don't know what this is going to be like. That being said, it looks fucking awesome. It looks so cool. But I'm scared. But I'm going to play it. It looks great. And then round out the week, we have Into the Emberlands on June 19th for PC and early access. Cozy Life Sim, we saw it at the Wholesome Direct over the weekend. Looks fun. Looks cute. I think people will like it. Yeah. Any of those? Timestamp! Yeah, any of those would be a fun time if you want to play some indies this week. And to round out the episode, as we usually do, don't forget you can write into the show and tell us what your favorite indie game is. Don't worry, you can tell us. We won't judge you. We might judge you if you're like, my favorite indie game is Dead by Daylight, because then you're trash. No one loves you. But I say it in the nicest way. But you can write in just like Daphne did, who previously wrote in and told us about Binding of Isaac and Spiritfarer, but this time she said, I got something new. Man, Daphne, heavy episode, huh? Besides Binding of Isaac and Spiritfarer, mentioned in my last entry, I'm really in love with the Figment games as well. Have you ever played the Figment games?
Let me tell you, I have had the Figment games for so long.
Yeah,
because they were like the Epic Game Store gave them away for free.
They did do that.
I've had them for so long, and I've always meant to like get into them, and I have never started any of them.
Kind of same.
How about you?
Kind of same. Kind of same. I remember the existence of Figment. I remember seeing the art of like the two. I don't even know how to describe the long neck, square headed dude on the cover of one of them. I remember seeing that. I'm like, okay, I have the image. And then when they showed Figment 2, I'm like, this looks pretty cool. I picked up Figment 1 on the Switch and I started, maybe got like an hour in. I'm like, bet, I'll keep playing this. And then it's just been the thing of like, I never should have picked it up on my Switch, because now that I have my Steam Deck, my Switch sits in the dock. If I pick it up on Switch, it's like meant to just eternally not get played. I just recently installed Inmost on my Switch and I'm like, I should buy this on PC instead, so I have it on my Steam Deck. And like,
I have Inmost on my list as well.
Yeah. That's my problem. And I love the Switch. It's great. It's just, it wasn't Indie Machine until I got a better Indie Machine. And this bad boy's right here. It's just so much nicer. And granted, the fan's a lot louder, but we make sacrifices.
Yeah.
But no, Figment's on the list. I hope to one day get it. We'll have to do a whole episode. Now, listen, if we've talked before about doing like book club episodes where we're like, we play through this game this week and we do like a review of such and such game in this year. If Daphne's down for a Figment episode, I'm not saying anytime soon. I'm saying we ain't got no time for a Figment episode. But if we get back in our habit of like, or wanting to do these like book club ones, I could totally see doing like a Figment 1 then a Figment 2 one down the line, because I think that'd be a fun one to get to. You have it.
I think so too.
Hell freaking yeah. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, there is your possibly over 2-hour episode of Playlog. Thank you guys so much for listening in. Obviously, you can tell we're super excited about Next Fest. It's like, I think at one point it was 2 times a year, and I think it's 3 times a year or somewhere in that ballpark. It happens a lot, but there's so many different demos to check out. I think it's a great space to spotlight indies. I think it's been a little rough the last couple of years because they have a lot of shit, so some things don't get recognized. But I think even then, we're still finding things that like, oh, we hadn't seen these, we hadn't heard about these, and like we get to check out new demos. So it's a great place to go check out new indie stuff. So please go over to Steam, check out some games, play them demos, and get going.
And don't be scared. Like, don't be scared to scroll down.
Yes,
because I know like it gets. There's a lot of hentai games all of a sudden, and a lot of really bad games too. But
someone doesn't have their safe search on.
But there's some really, really hidden gems down there as well.
Hell yeah, dude. Go Next Fest. Keep going.
Yeah.
Tofr, thank you again for another great episode of Playlog.
Thank you.
If the little scrublets wanted to find you online, where would they go?
They would find me as play.nice.kids with either dots or underscores between the words. Now, I was thinking next week I won't be here.
That's right. I didn't think to mention it. God damn. Yeah. Guys, Tofr quit.
Because you're going to have some fun. Wow.
No. Next week we'll have a special guest, Jacob McCourt from Crossplay Conversations, from, God, I would say Tales from the Backlog. Shit, I'm mixing my friend's podcasts up. I'm so sorry, Jacob.
Oh, no.
Jacob McCourt from Crossplay Conversations and Video Game Trivia will be coming on. We're doing a special episode all about the play date, talking about some fun little goofy gimmicky indie games. So that'll be fun. She could be around for that. Eventually we'll try and find a way of doing just like the two of us with a guest, but you know, timelines are crazy. We got to figure it out. But yeah, there'll be a play date episode next week. So that's exciting.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Trevor's gonna be like, yeah, I get to listen to this one. Nice. And then you write in and be like, Danny, you fucking suck. You didn't even talk about this one.
I'm just gonna be spamming like the comments, like, I want to play that. I want to play that. I want to play that.
Listen, I'm like, yo, Papa Jenna, can I get another one real quick? Because my partner's just like, got a podcast partner, and they're a little upset that I got one and they didn't. And I'm like, oh, my bad. Tell you what, when I'm done with it, I'll just mail the leftovers. It'll be fine.
Wow.
But of course, if you guys enjoyed the podcast, you want to stick around, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, like, and comment, that whole 9 yards. It helps support the show. It helps more people find it, so we get more little indie darling friends just like you watching the show. And if you want to follow me on social media, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, at CGDannyB, and TikTok. But I don't know if we'll have that in a year, so I don't know if I plug it as much. Anyway, that's CGDannyB. And with that, there's your episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week.